All right, so there's audio. Okay. And there's going. Let's see. I don't like this channel. These people irritate me. Going. It's not going. It's not going. What is that? What is
No,
that?
you're good.
All
You're
right,
good.
so there's audio.
There's just a delay.
Okay, what is that presidential thing up there?
Where?
Okay, it was something up here in this corner up here, but I don't know what. It says presidential something. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe it said we are going live. I don't know. Hi everybody. Okay, so my name's Mike, and this is my YouTube page, Mock News, and this is election night 2020, and so you guys know, I have already seen at least one graphic that said Joe Biden wins presidential election. I've already seen at least that one time, and I saw something else I wanted to tell you about, but I can't remember what it is. I am a little bit slow at the moment. Um, I I had a problem, and I went to the hospital, and I damaged my tongue very badly, and it hasn't been working quite right. So I haven't been doing live shows, and also have other things going on. But I don't want to talk about that tonight. Tonight is election night. So we're working on getting election night stuff going. And like I was saying, I wanted to make sure that you guys knew. Oh, right. So right now on the CNN here, according to their electoral map, right there, see it says Joe Biden is ahead 73-48. Okay, so you guys can see that. I want you guys to be able to see that. Joe Biden is ahead 73-48. Now, the Huffington Post graphic that we're working on says that Joe Biden is ahead 119-92. And as I said, I've already said that I've seen at least one graphic where it said that Joe Biden um, has won the presidential election. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I have seen that, and they are chomping at the bit to get that to go live. So you guys know, in case you don't already. Um, yeah, I will go into. I figure tomorrow is probably a good day for grief counseling, even though really today is a much better day for grief counseling, because because in my opinion it almost I really I mean my brain's not working right at the moment, but I couldn't care less who wins the election. I mean, I'm like really tired of Donald Trump, but I'm really tired of Joe Biden. I've been tired of Joe Biden since 2003, when he voted to support going to war, 2002, when he supported to support going to war with Iraq. Okay? And if I had paid much attention to politics before that, I'm sure I would have been extremely tired of Joe Biden way before that. So it's just kind of a sad day in America. It's not like, it matters who wins. People are going to need grief counseling tomorrow because, the Republicans are in charge for another 4 years, or somehow Joe Biden managed to win. The grief counseling should really begin today, because, you know, this is the best America can do. Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I mean, that's what really upsets me. It's not that who's going to be president tomorrow. It's that either one of these fucktards are going to be president tomorrow. You know, I mean, we talk about how, oh, you know, the future belongs to the young, and we have these like 80-year-old guys that are going to be the next president. You know, it, it, it's just very disappointing. Either way, I don't see anything positive that I really want to be part of. And I've had a horrible, terrible time. The last kind of any kind of news, you know, so you guys know, any kind of news has been just not in my brain. It doesn't make any sense that there's one side or the other. There isn't a side that supports me. So how can I go like, oh, well, that this side makes sense? There isn't a side, you know. I mean, I see these advertisements with these little black girls, and they say, you know, there's not enough people in Congress who look like me. You know, and I think there's no one in Congress who looks like me. There has never been, that to my memory, anyone in Congress who looks like me. I mean, I know there was back in the day, but that day is long gone. You know, everybody in Congress now looks like a cop or a motherfucking prosecutor, which is, you know, a cop, right? So, and I don't ever want to look like that, you know? So, anyways, as I was saying, I thought we should come out today and touch bases. You know, it is election day, right? So we have this important thing going on. What do we got? This is the Huffington Post graphic here that we have on the screen live there. On the news, on the CNN, it says Joe Biden 80, Donald Trump 51. Now, to my recollection, they did their best to do the same thing with Hillary Clinton, which is basically what we're just reliving now. You know, and that's why it's so incredibly disappointing, right? In the last election, Joe Biden was like, oh, I'm just not able to run for president right now. His son had just died, and he's like, I can't put my whole heart into it, you know. And the whole truth was Hillary Clinton had already been selected to be, you know, the nominee. You know, so there's no reason for Joe Biden to want to run. It would just make him look like a loser. And again, this is the problem: is we have these 40-year long politicians who act like they don't have any records, and you know, Jeb Bush. I mean, this is the reason that Donald Trump is president, because of Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton. You know. And I know that we can do. I know America has more to offer than Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, you know, who are all buddy with Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I'm saying? America has to have better to offer than that. But we'll see. We'll see. It doesn't look like it, right? I mean, if you're paying attention, if you're the rest of the world, it doesn't really look like America has a whole lot more to offer. There's my beautiful baby. There's my beautiful baby. My beautiful baby, Boo Bear, was my favorite thing to see after leaving the hospital. Actually, my favorite thing to see was Craig, because Craig was taking me home from the hospital, and it was really good to have such a good friend that I could count on. and there's my beautiful baby, and then I got to see my beautiful baby, and really my beautiful babies, and that was my favorite thing to see. That was my next favorite thing to see, and then like 2 days later, I saw a tray of brownies that I had made before I went to the hospital, and and then that was my next favorite thing to see. I still have not had a puff of marijuana since I went to the hospital, which on Friday will be 4 weeks. And I haven't had a puff of weed because my tongue is fucked up still, and I really want my tongue to heal. So I don't want to be hitting it with smoke when I'm hoping to, that it get it back to 100%. Hoping, fingers crossed. Still on the CNN it says 80 to 51, which I showed you just a minute ago. I don't know if that one is that one updating? Or do I have to refresh it?
Maybe.
I'll reload it and see what happens.
Scroll up.
I'm scrolling up. I guess that one's updated. That's what we got going on. If anybody wants to call, the phone number is 805 669 6397. 805 Mox News. So, I just want to touch bases with you guys. I'm not sure how long I want to go live and all this. I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I am still here. I am still ready to continue doing something cool and live, regardless if it is politics or something else, because I don't know how much more politics my brain can deal with. As again, it doesn't really matter who wins. Either way, it's this horrible disappointment, right? No matter if Donald Trump wins or Joe Biden wins, basically, this is what we can have as president, and that's just not a very good example of what America could be or should be in its place in the world, in my opinion.
What's up?
What's up?
Are you there?
Are you there? I'm here. Are you there? I am here. I'm here. Are you there? Okay. So, anyways, thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in and sticking around and being part of all of this. Let's see. Hello, caller.
Oh, my God, Michael, this is Steve McLennan. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Where have you been, Michael? Holy shit, Michael. Oh, my God. I swear to God, Michael, there's been a fucking... I'm telling you. Have you seen this shit? There's a boatload of news out there. I mean, I just can't keep up with all this fucking news anymore, Michael. It's fucking driving me crazy. Michael.
Hey,
are you
Steve.
okay? Are you okay currently?
I'm working on it.
Holy shit, Michael. There is a lot of fucking news. I swear to God. Am I the first caller?
I don't know.
Did I win something?
Not tonight.
Yeah, fuck. Shit. But I tell you what, I swear to God, I got some theories out there. I got some theories and a lot of fucking breaking news that I probably can't get to currently at the moment. But I tell you what, I had one main real theory that I was thinking about. You've got all these voters out there that are currently voting. You know, they're voting for a lot of things. They're voting. Do you think Joe Biden could be the smelliest president ever? Question mark. I'm just wondering. Or the most loving president to just smell other people currently at the same time, and he will continue to do that. It's really bizarre. I was just wondering.
Well,
do you think that he
my guess is that being in the same room with all of these fucking cunts wearing their disgusting cologne like they bathed in it right before they came into the room, is
Yes.
as if somehow that's going to cover up their disgusting ass smell that lingers around them. It's just not. I can't imagine trying to get a breath of air in a room like that, Steve.
Right, yes. Terrible. It sounds fucking, yeah, I think that is exactly correct. And Michael, I got another call. I got to go.
All right, it's good to hear you're still
I might have
around,
breaking
Steve.
news throughout the night. Just letting you know that, holy shit. Michael, it's good to hear from you. We love you out here. Tape out there.
All right, Steve. And that was Steve McClanahan, everybody. Steve McClanahan. Calling from... I'm not sure where he was calling from. Did anybody catch where he was calling from? North Carolina. They calling these races yet? It looks like Trump's catching up in Ohio. Here we go. Trump's catching up in Ohio. Can't win. You can't win the White House without winning Ohio. Pennsylvania. Uh-oh. Only 11% in Pennsylvania. And 70% in Texas. It's a tie in Texas. Look at that. It's a tie in Texas, everybody. It's a Texas standoff. Oh, Colorado. Let's say about Colorado. 32% in Colorado. Well, that figures. They're going to take your guns. They're going to take your guns, Colorado. Don't you know they're going to take your guns? New Hampshire. New Hampshire is a very important state for Joe Biden to win. If he did not win New Hampshire, he would not win. That's only 17% of the vote in New Hampshire. What do we got here? Okay, too early to call. Florida, still too early to call. 93% of the vote in Florida. Too early. Still. Huh. We'll see about that. Michigan. 18% of the vote in Michigan. Donald Trump is tearing it up in Michigan. Virginia. What's to be expected in Virginia? And what's the other one? Georgia. Okay, so Trump is 39% in Georgia, and Trump is pulling out ahead. So we'll see what's going to happen there in the next few minutes. So tomorrow night, I will, we're not talking about the election and blah, blah, blah. And it seems like kind of a night for grief counseling. We will go ahead and do, we'll talk about what's going on with me tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, our normal Mox chime. So tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific, we'll go live for a little bit and take a few calls, and we will discuss my trip to the hospital, or waking up in the hospital after 3 days unconscious, and then having to stay there for a few days after that, and where we're at now, and what it is I know that's happening, and what it is I don't know that's happening, which is more of what I know, which is I don't know what the fuck is happening. But we'll figure it out. Hopefully. I hope. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Sticking at 119, 192 on the Huffington Post browser wall. I believe. I don't think I have to hit the refresh button on that one. Make sure here. Let's see. Refresh. Nope, it just went up to 122. It just went up to 122. So I think that one's working on its own. Don't have to hit the refresh button. Okay. So, and we got a Boo Bear over down by the waterfall. If anybody wants to call, there's the number on the screen. It's 805-669-6397. It's always good to hear from you. This is a call-in show. It's a big part of what we do here. And again, I'm not taking any bong hits at the moment. Because my tongue is still fucked up, and I'm really trying to let my tongue heal. So okay, so they just said Trump won. Let's see what they say. Trump won. They say North Carolina. Is that what they say? North Dakota. Trump wins North Dakota. Right. Biden wins Colorado, and Trump wins North Dakota. So, but they don't have legal marijuana in North Dakota. Anybody want to bet on that? I don't know for sure. I could be wrong. Let's see. We have. So, anyways, we'll be doing this again tomorrow, and then I probably have to take a couple of days off because I still have paperwork that I have to be catching up on, and making sure that I'm ready for next week. I have stuff that I have to go to neurologist next week. So, but I'll talk about that tomorrow a little more. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck is happening. The doctors that I have seen so far have not been very forthcoming on what's happening, and like I said, I'll go into more detail on it tomorrow. I don't really want to talk about it tonight. I want to talk about the motherfucking state of our democracy and the fact that it's either going to be Donald Trump or Joe Biden, and those are the only choices. And that, and for me personally, it doesn't really matter. You know, I mean, it just comes back to this thing. You know, this whole no matter which head of the two-headed snake you feed, it still shits the same turd. You know, I mean, I just, how's my girl? Just a minute. Just a minute. You should lie down. Lie down. Good girl. And the dogs are both having issues, although, you know, they're looking better and stronger and happier. So, anyways, I don't want to put that up. Because the last copyright strikes we got were from MSNBC, and there's an MSNBC screen up on there, and I don't want to fuck with MSNBC ever again. Never, ever, ever. Okay? I don't have room for issues when it comes to that kind of bullshit, and if they want to play those kind of games, I'm done playing with them. So, you know. You won't be seeing any more MSNBC clips on this show. Okay. So, there's my beautiful baby. Okay, so where are we at? We are at 6:30. And so far we got 89 for Biden and 54 for Trump electoral votes called so far by CNN, according to CNN. As far as um, as far as the Huffington Post, they've been way far ahead of that this whole time. They've been saying that Biden's at 122 and Trump is at 92. So I'm not sure why CNN seems to be so far behind him. I've also again already at least an hour ago saw a graphic up on the screen that said Joe Biden wins presidential 2020 presidential race. So in case you're wondering, these are the things that I am seeing. And that's partially why I'm out here tonight. Is I wanted to be able to share some of this kind of crazy stuff with you guys, because I know that's a big part of what we're supposed to be doing, and I'm just a little off my game still. So. I'm not sure how long we're going to go tonight, but we will keep it going here for a minute. Let's see, if we can get another phone caller or two. So until then, I will keep an eye on, again, the electoral maps here that I am seeing, and try and make sure that everybody knows what I'm seeing, like I said. Hello, caller.
Michael. He's not dead. He's alive, motherfucker. What's up, you breathing son of a bitch?
Hey, Pete. How's it going, man?
How do I sound? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You should speak up a little bit, probably.
Hold on, let me unplug this fucking... How do I sound now?
Yeah, it sounds better.
Alright, I'll do it this way. Michael, you beautiful son of a bitch.
How's it going in Rhode Island, Pete?
Oh, much better now that I'm seeing your face, my friend. It's going all right, man. It's cold and it's depressing, but I got my marijuana. I got my marijuana here.
Well, that's important.
It is. I know you can't smoke cannabis, Mike, but you eating any?
Yeah, man. I'm gobbling it up. I am a pan of brownies used to last me 3 weeks, and then it got down to 2 weeks, and now it's lasting a week. But I can't smoke it all, so I am I could smoke, but I'm not trying to avoid it. I am completely avoiding it. Hey, Craig, can you call the girl to you?
I had the same problem with my edibles after a while. They were like really potent at first, but after a while, like right now, I've been on a smoking binge for a while again because it's really fucking me up.
Yeah, you didn't smoke forever.
I had a super high edible tolerance. It was like crazy.
Huh.
So I'm like about to go back. When I run out of my next bounce, I'm gonna go back to make another batch of edibles, change it up. And I'm probably going to go back to getting really blitzed again, which is going to be nice. Because when I first started, I was like, my gummies, I was like 15 grams worth would get me blitzed, then 30, then 60. And when I got to 60, I was like, this is like, you know, unsustainable at this point.
Well, the thing is that you're doing it with alcohol, and alcohol is a very, very strong drug, Pete.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's hard for the cannabis, which is not really a very strong drug, to come through the way that you're wanting it to with would be my guess that would have something to do with it, my brother.
No. I would strongly disagree with that. I think it enhances it quite a bit.
Well,
I mean, you definitely get a tolerance for sure. There's no questions about that. Especially when that's your sole, your sole cannabis intake.
yeah.
You're gonna get quite a tolerance after a while.
Well, like I said, I'm eating about 3 times as much as usual, but I'm not smoking anything. So, and I usually always have a few puffs a day. So it's kind of odd not and I keep thinking that I want to have a puff, but I'm not. I don't. I really want to let my tongue heal up.
Yeah, that's the smart thing to do, my friend. It'll be worth it. Do I got you on some kind of like antibiotic that you got to take, or some type of mouth rinse every day, or some shit? Probably, right?
No, they haven't given me anything for my tongue.
Yeah, all right. That's probably good then.
Yeah, they said the doctor when I when I was in the hospital, I said like the first words that I said to Craig was all I want is for my tongue to heal, and when I was in the hospital, like the doctor said, do you have any questions for me? And I said, is my tongue gonna get better? And he said, well, let me see your tongue. And I stuck my tongue out. And he cringed in this way that doctors are not supposed to cringe, And then he reassured me that tongues have amazing healing capabilities. So.
Okay. Like the liver.
I guess. I sure hope so.
Well, you don't sound any different. You don't have a crazy lisp or anything.
I know I sound a little bit different, and I'm doing this weird thing where I inhale saliva.
You don't sound any different to me at all.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. It's not a real big deal, but I just want to make sure that I'm able to, I'm able to handle it for a little while without, just having to stop too quickly. It's nice to hear from you. I'm glad to. I know you called the other day and wanted to talk, and I just wasn't feeling up to it. So.
It's all good, brother. Glad to hear you're doing well. Just want to say.
Come here.
Let's see what's up.
So
let's talk about Michael. Who do you think? I've successfully predicted every election for the past couple, and on this one I'm a little stumped. I really don't know who's going to win on this one.
Well,
I think Biden. I'm kind of leaning towards Biden might pull us out. I don't know. Trump has so much hatred against him, and the media is against him, and I just don't think he's going to win. I don't know. That's what I'm leaning towards.
The incumbent has a huge advantage, so you have to take that into consideration to start with, and then but you also have to take into consideration, like what you're saying, is that there's 2020, which has just been one fucking huge disaster after another, right? So, and that pretty much all falls right on Trump's doorstep. So a lot of people could be holding that against him. But for me, it just, I can't stand that he just seems to spread hatred. You know what I mean? It's just like with Trump in office somehow it's like, yeah, let's just hate everybody and everything, and that's the way it should be, and we're gonna keep it there. I can't stand Joe Biden, so I don't see a big difference in the outcome, honestly.
Yeah, the what's really disturbing is the incredible media silence on the whole email scandal with his son and shit.
Yeah.
He's in league with some pretty corrupt people over there in the Ukraine.
Yeah,
he makes me pretty nervous.
Yeah, they're just horrible human beings, you know. I mean, Hillary Clinton's anybody who voted for the Iraq War should not be eligible to run for president. Okay? That's all there is to it. You know, how many trillions of dollars did we spend on this thing that was all fucking bullshit? You know, fabricated straight out of the Pentagon and the White House, and you helped them make that happen. You are no longer eligible, and really should be considered, questionable whether we should even consider you an American anymore after what you did to, our military and our treasure. Our treasure, our troops, our blood and treasure. It's just, I hate these people so much, dude. And they just never end. And it's almost like with the Democrats, you had to vote for the Iraq War in order for you to be eligible to be fucking president. To be the nominee of the Democratic Party to be president, you must have had to vote for the Iraq War. Fuck those people. I mean, and there's no way the Republicans are any better. It's just horrible. I hate it.
Yeah, it reminds me of Hillary Clinton when she was. I know I talked about this before, but Obama said that his biggest mistake of his presidency was invading Libya, which Hillary Clinton kind of convinced him to do. I just love that. I don't know why they just didn't dig that interface when she was running for president, because it was just such a huge, tremendous humanitarian catastrophe. But yeah, oh god, yeah, they're super hateable. I agree. But Mike, I gotta let you go. I'll call you tomorrow. I gotta work in the morning.
Okay, Pete.
God bless you.
Good to hear from you, bro.
Kanye 2020. Praise Allah. I'll see you in hell.
Okay. That's our buddy Pete from Rhode Island. It's always good to hear from Pete. If anybody wants to call, the numbers are on the screen, 805-669-6397. The numbers here on the CNN have not changed as of this moment. It still says 89 to 54. I think it might have said 52 before, but I don't think it did. 89 to 54. We'll see what it says on this other one, this other browser wall we have here. It says 122 to 92. That one really hasn't changed either. So, and the Boo Bear is still up there, kicking back by the river. So that's where we are at this moment. Again, as I'm wanting to point out, just so that you guys know, one of the things I have seen earlier in the evening, like about a half hour before we went live, I saw a graphic that did say Joe Biden wins 2020 presidential campaign, presidential bid. So they are chomping at the bit to put that up on the screen, which I guess is understandable, but you would think they would be much more careful about it. It wasn't on the screen for long. It was about 15 seconds. I don't really want to name the network that it was on. It wasn't one of the major networks that you would generally tune into, but it's one of the new ones that's trying to make a name for itself. Maybe that was part of what they were doing. I gotta drink some water. So, I think we will be getting some updated numbers here in the next 10 minutes or so, in case you guys are wondering. From what I understand, Larry said, pull it. That's what I heard him say. I heard those words come out of his mouth. He said, pull it. We decided to pull it. Which, pulling it is a very complicated procedure, and it takes many weeks to plan. So you don't just, on a moment's notice, pull a building the size of WTC7, in case anybody's wondering what we're talking about. And if you were to ask Joe Biden about WTC7, what Joe Biden would tell you is that he doesn't know anything about World Trade Center 7, is that what you're saying? And how it collapsed straight down into its own footprint. I never heard anything about that. Even though there was giant articles written about it by Popular Mechanics magazine, because of course they're the most obvious people to explain what happened with World Trade Center 7. Let's see. Joe Biden. Oh, here we go. Here's an update. Here we go. We got an update here. Update. Here we go. Update. Here we go. Update. All right. Here we go. Update. Key race alert. Too early to call. Ohio. 49-49. Too close to call. In order to win the White House, you must win Ohio. That is the rule. North Carolina, too early to call. Joe Biden, 82% of the vote counted. 16% of the vote counted in Pennsylvania. Joe Biden, too early to call. Wisconsin, 19% of the vote counted in Wisconsin. Joe Biden, too early to call. In case you were wondering. Oh, in Minnesota. Let's see, 26% of the vote counted. Joe Biden. New Hampshire, 22%. Man, they are dragging ass in New Hampshire. What's the holdup, New Hampshire? I never like it when it takes so long for the vote to get counted, More too early to call. Florida is still too early to call for CNN. Florida, 93% of the vote counted. Michigan, 20% of the vote counted. Too early to call. 20% of the vote in Michigan. Donald Trump. Georgia, 47% of the vote counted. Donald Trump, 47%. Georgia, too early to call. Texas, 76% of the vote counted in Texas. Donald Trump, too early to call. Virginia. I haven't called Virginia yet. I thought they called Virginia. All right. I'm tired of holding that up. That's one of the things that's going on, too, with me is my shoulders are just foobar like you would not believe. My shoulders are messed up. All right, so let's see, what's it say on this one? Still says 122 to 92 on the electoral map at the Huffington Post. So if anybody was wondering, the Boo Bear is still up on the couch down by the river. Hello, caller.
Hello, this is Rue Linnick with the Linux Media Clinic. How are you doing?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm well. Fantastic. We've been sitting here trying to stream through all of our technical difficulties, but managed to get this third part of our transmission going, so...
Cool. I understand that you've been being harassed by one of our affiliates, Steve McClanahan.
Oh, yes, sir. The report he's been reporting in from Washington D.C., leaving a lot of apparently people have been defecating in the streets, and we didn't know that until he called in. So we appreciate that firsthand accounts from
he has a
reporter, Steve McClanahan.
serious fecal fetish, so you know.
Is he related by the man that was found in a porta potty by any chance?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that story, but he has issues. So, but it's good to have him around, and we try not to be too rough on him.
Oh yeah, he seems like a great chap.
He's I wouldn't go that far, but but we, like I said, we try and keep him around and not be too hard on him, because I think he's very underappreciated by a lot of people in his world, generally speaking.
Well, he's welcome over at the Linux Media Clinic anytime, whenever he wants to tune in. So
cool. So and Craig got you live on the screen in case you didn't know.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what? How long have you guys been doing your live streams?
So we just started right before the pandemic happened. I just had the urge to start kind of a live streaming rig. I do audio visual live stuff for live music and stuff. So I guess you could call it visual engineering, but pretty much almost similar to liquid lights and similar psychedelic visual art techniques. And
right
I did
on.
that live for a while. Yeah, for bands and stuff. And I was like, I should probably start streaming live. And we built the studio right before the pandemic happened. So it's we were literally doing live streams, just working the kinks out with a little webcam and, our computer and a laptop at first. And, as the pandemic got worse and worse, we, just slowly started building it. But I guess it's been 6 months now at this point, maybe a little longer.
A little bit longer than that now.
Yeah, because it was literally a month or two before the whole COVID stuff kind of popped off here in the United States. So, yeah.
So, is that been a major topic of your discussions, or what kind of things do you guys usually talk about?
Well, I'm a musician myself, and I also do stuff. I work on cars, and I do a lot of outdoor DIY content as well. So we'll have anything from history podcasts, very similar to. I don't want to go out and say we're hardcore history, but we try to kind of model ourselves around that sometimes. Semi-long form content around history, mythology, magical lore, and stuff like that. I'm Ukrainian too, so we get into a lot of Slavic mythology, and there's a lot of spooky stuff around Kentucky too, which is ancient Indian ground. So we talk about that, the history around Kentucky, which is where we're broadcasting from, Lexington, Kentucky, and so yeah, we pretty much have a lot of long form content, and I also do live streams for my music as well. I have my rig back there behind John, which is a whole bunch of synthesizers, a semi-modular synthesizer rig.
Yeah, it looked like you guys got a pretty nice setup.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. I just especially whenever the coronavirus stuff happened, I wasn't able to jam with friends as much, so that helped to have a semi-modular kind of live looping rig to where I could just sit there and make music by myself. So I post a video every now and then about that, and then of course fishing stuff. We'll go out and we'll go hiking. There's a bunch of beautiful spots here in Lexington. There's Red River Gorge, which is really famous, the giant there's like mountain structures, of course, Appalachia and stuff, and we go out to lakes and rivers and creeks and film content out there, fishing content and hiking, and we'll do like urban exploration too. We like found like an old abandoned train car and just like made a vlog out of that too. So we just kind of try to go out and make content wherever we can.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, man.
Oh, thank you, dude.
So you have fishing. Like catching fish on your YouTube page.
Oh yes, sir. I consider myself an amateur angler.
Well, anybody who considers himself more than that better have a lot of years experience.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoy fishing, and whenever I get the chance to go out there. Right now, since it's getting colder, I have to be more smart about it if I'm going out to like go fishing and stuff. So, but yeah, whenever I can, I try to go out and fish as much as possible. So that's always fun, and try to get some footage of that as well.
Cool. I used to fish a lot when I was a kid. I haven't done it forever. I'm not real big on fish. I don't like the idea of pulling them out of the streams and out of their. I don't like the idea of pulling them out of their houses. Out of their homes and stuff. It's just much easier to buy at the store.
Yeah, there's definitely, as I got older, because I grew up, like I said, my parents grew up in like a village, like, pre and post Soviet Union village where, they had to live off the land, so to speak. So anything that lived was considered food to them. And then as I kind of got older, psychedelics may or may not have had something to do with it, but I kind of became more empathetic to that, and I was like, man, this is kind of cruel. So I definitely, if I'm catching something, I like to use it. If I'm gonna take it as bait and use it for a future trip, or if I'm actually gonna get it and do a catch and cook, I always try to, I try not to sit there and hurt the ecosystem.
Yeah, cool. That seems like the way to go. I mean, to be part of it, to participate with it, to help it stay strong, and I mean, it's not as if man isn't meant to participate. It's just that man really, they kind of do it pretty unfairly. You know what I mean? A lot of the time. So where you fish mostly freshwater then, huh?
Yeah, yes, sir. Freshwater. There's not a lot of salt water and like anywhere near me right now, so. I have been doing a little bit of saltwater fishing whenever I went up to New York, but I didn't really catch anything, so I didn't get any footage of that.
What videos are the most popular on your channel?
I mean, we have a very, very humble program, so that's pretty much just saying we don't have a lot of views. But I mean, there might be like the one at. There's like a smallmouth bass one. What's really popular around like where we live is smallmouth bass fishing in the creeks. And there was one that I went out and like waded. I think it was called Searching for Smallies on our YouTube channel. That's probably, in my opinion, one of my best recent fishing videos. But as far as popularity goes, I'm not exactly sure. They're all like probably maybe like 50 views or something.
Well, outside of the fishing videos, we've got Rue covered one of the protests here.
Yeah.
On for the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, a lot of our protests.
Right, and those videos were getting a lot of views.
Yeah, they were doing pretty well. It was as soon as the protests started happening in Lexington, I went out and did like live stream coverage of that.
Awesome.
I had a little microphone on my camera rig and like a little mount and stuff, and I went out and streamed that live, and people enjoyed that, and it was it was pretty fun. It was kind of like live reporting. I did like a few interviews here and there throughout the streams, and those were really fun, and I feel like not a lot of people got to see that because like the news publications here in Lexington, I mean the static images and the clips that they would put out would be like a 5-second clip of like one corner of marching. It was not really informing the public of what was actually going on in the streets. And I feel like some people don't want to go out there if they're elderly, or maybe if they're really young, or maybe if they have a family and they don't feel comfortable going out into a mob of people, in the midst of a pandemic even, then I feel like they need forms of media to be able to see that in 2020. And it's kind of sad to think that these like government-appointed media agencies that have like very high budgets. I mean, they have the nicest cameras and the wireless transmitters to transmit that signal back to their van and all that stuff. And it's like, I watched them. I walked up to a few of the news people, and they were not really doing a good job, not really getting in there and, reporting properly, in my opinion.
Hey, do you post? I agree completely. By the way, I don't think that the news media has done the protests any kind of justice at all. Especially considering that those people are putting their lives on the line to stand out there in the middle of a pandemic to fight for to fight against injustice, basically. So I really appreciate that you do that you go out there and put your butt on the line to make those kind of things happen. We've been streaming the protest live pretty much since the beginning of March or so. So they've been a big part of the show. I've always, but in my work on YouTube and even before YouTube, protests have always been a really important part, because I've always said it doesn't matter which side the people are on. When the people go into the street, you support them because that's what America is about. Is about being in the street and demanding something better. So. Because you always see it, people just immediately take lines, draw lines on the protesters. And in my opinion, the protesters are Americans. They say, "Oh, do you see those Republicans taking over the Capitol in Lansing?" And I'm like, "How do you know they're Republicans?"
Yeah, it's definitely true. There's been a lot of like narratives just like thrown out where people just like throw out terms, like blanket terms for the protesters. And there's a lot of different ethnicities, different cultures, people, different political backgrounds within those crowds that all kind of want change. But, I feel like it's the media's fault. I mean, I guess people could be more smart about it and try to go find their own information.
Well,
the people that try to realize that they're not all just Republicans, or they're not all just, Antifa or whatever the narrative is.
Well, no, the media, a huge part of the problem is the media. The media has always covered, again, when earlier I was saying that protests have always been a big part of my work. I remember during 2003, 2002, there were these huge anti-Iraq war protests, right? And we would go out and we'd cover them, and I would spend in Washington D.C. There's like hundreds of thousands of people, and all these congressmen, all these peace protesters and stuff, making giant speeches and stuff, and it was just such a beautiful thing. And the protests would go on for hours and hours, and the media wouldn't cover them at all. And when they actually cover a protest, like a march, where there'd be 100,000 people or tens of thousands of people marching down the street, they'd shoot it for 5 seconds, and they'd shoot it directly across the street, so it looked like maybe there was a few hundred people, instead of shooting it down the street and seeing that there's miles and miles of people marching, and so yeah, the media is hugely at fault at what's going on here, and they have been. It's not something new. They have been for a generation or more.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even know about that. Like, I mean, I guess I haven't really done research into that, but it's always interesting to see how the public, because they have to get the public on their side if they want to go into a major war. And it's interesting to see the tactics that they perform in order to get the public to actually go and root for this war and give up their children. Which, I mean, we've done a lot of podcasts on ancient civilizations, and I've kind of made the connection, whether it be war or like questionable sustenance forms or questionable forms of medicine. I'm like, is that a form of human sacrifice? Like, if we know what's going to happen and we're giving up our children and our offspring to that, is that, are we smarter than the ancient Aztecs or the ancient Mayans that were sacrificing their people to some god or something like that.
I think it's even worse than that, because the reason that they're doing it now is fucking for profit. You know what I mean? The reason that we went to war in Iraq, other than to break that region, to like make it so that there was just this giant fucking tragedy going on that everyone in the region now has to deal with. Other than that, was so that all these fucking people that are already way too rich could become way more rich than they ever dreamed they would be. And that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's complete. That couldn't be something. It's not possible to be more disgusting than that, in my opinion.
Evil.
Yeah.
It's almost the definition of evil.
Yeah.
But have you heard of any of the? There's definitely, like, if you look at like ancient Sumer and ancient Babylon, that's the same area where we have all this conflict right now, is where allegedly human civilization sprang from. So it's interesting to me, like, maybe there might be some ulterior motive to sit there and just be warring in this country instead of doing actual scientific archaeological digs, or actually sitting there and trying to figure out like what happened and get a more like coherent narrative around those stories. Because of course we have there's almost pop icons at this point that translated some of those works from the ancient Babylonians, and they get called pseudoscientists, and people start disqualifying their work and stuff, which it might be for that might be a good thing. Maybe they're actually sitting there and twisting the narrative and trying to gain popularity from these archaeological finds. But that's been happening since the dinosaurs and stuff. So it's really interesting to me. I'm like, why aren't we sitting there and performing more experiments? But maybe they are, and they're just not telling us about it. And the way they could hide that is kind of just okay, we're warring here, and it's over oil or something, or I guess now opium or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting. Like, is it a coincidence that that's where civilization sprang from, and we've been fighting there since the dawn of ages?
Yeah, it seems that the powers that be, the people that have the knowledge, that are in control of the knowledge, they want to keep the people themselves, the people, in the dark as much as possible. Living in the dark ages, only doling out, little bits of, oh, here, you can have a smartphone, and look, you can carry a TV with you everywhere. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
And we get a spy on you everywhere you go now and everything you do. But it's, it seems like it's been that way a long time, as far as, like you're saying, is controlling history and controlling, the burning of these great libraries throughout history,
Yep. Yeah. What was in that I can only imagine the text and the literature that was in that library that might still be in the Vatican, but let's just say it all burnt,
Yeah.
God knows what was in that library. Honestly, it's amazing to even think about it. Like, there must have been some pretty fascinating text.
I wanted to ask you too, while I'm still thinking about it. Are you putting I agree. Just the thought of that kind of lost knowledge, it just is heartbreaking. But I wanted to ask you: are you posting any of your visual graphic art up on the YouTube also, like your what you do at your music outings?
We had a few right now, within Lexington and stuff, and for smaller amateur musicians and artists, it's kind of hard to get booked at a music venue, and if you can't sell out the whole room.
Yeah.
But I do have footage from before, pre-pandemic, and then I do have some footage and stuff in most of my live looping music videos.
I'm specifically talking about your art.
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely find it there. You might have to dig. I do have playlists set up on YouTube. So the art is definitely, honestly, I might just start a whole visual art playlist, but you could find it in within the music. It's definitely in there. And then of course in our podcast set, we always to throw some of the analog visuals up too.
Right on. That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. I have one more question. I know John has to go to work, and I have to go to work later on tonight. We work night shift. So, I have one more question before we have to get off. Have you heard of the new LiDAR technology on the new iPhone, 12 Pro? I looked into it because, I've been into like archaeology for a while, and I feel like it'd be cool to have some type of LiDAR scanner to where I could go like find a cave or find stuff, or maybe even attach it to a drone and see if we could find like, some artifacts from the sky. But the way it's kind of been marketed, it's kind of creepy, because with the LiDAR scanner and the 3D scanners, they could literally create a 3D model of everything around the phone. So obviously, if you're walking around with that in your pocket around your house, they literally have a 3D model exact to like the exact what's in your house. It's pretty much like The Dark Knight. Whenever Morgan Freeman is tapping into Batman and he has that 3D image of everything, it's what they're gonna have.
Again, this is all they want is every single tiny bit of information they can possibly have about you and your life. That's all they want. That's all these phones are about, is collecting that information. So it's really nice to have the ability to carry around an amazing camera in your pocket and be able to go live anywhere you go and all this kind of stuff. That kind of shit is just beyond for a creative individual. It's just like, oh my God, this frees me up to do anything and everything. When they first came out with the fucking HD phones, the HD cameras on the phones, I was like, I have to have this. And then I moved beyond that. But but those phones are everywhere now, so it's easy to get them, and you don't have to necessarily be connected to anything if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I could definitely sit there and work around it, but I'd use it just like a camera and a LiDAR scanner. But I appreciate you having us on your program. Like I said, we have to go to work and do our jobs. But we're gonna get off here and end our transmission as well. But I appreciate you having us on. I appreciate everyone who's watching too. If they want to check us out, we also have a Patreon up where we post all of our uncensored content. That's patreon.com/TheLMC. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I haven't heard of your guys' program before. Craig, I believe, reached out, and I subscribed right away.
Right now.
Awesome. Yeah, I subscribed right away, and this is definitely awesome, because even whenever we started the Linux Media Clinic, like the whole like overlays that you guys have, like the little Mox News spinny thing, like it's definitely an inspiration. Like I definitely, it's something to look to and inspire to. I love your guys' program.
Right on. Well, I always, when it comes to this stuff, dude, I always just say, just do you, build it and they will come, basically,
Yeah.
So do you, and that way nobody else can fucking imitate you, and then you can, and that way you're making happen the things that you want to make happen. So,
exactly.
We look forward to have you back on the show real soon, okay?
Awesome. I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Stay cool.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
All right. Let's see.
Well, that was great.
All right.
Okay. Where are we at on this, Craig? Okay. Let's see. I don't know, but it doesn't look like, oh wait. Okay, so I was just about to update the Huffington Post, and it updated on its own there. It went from 122 to 131, in case anybody is wondering. The CNN, in case anybody is wondering, is still at 89.72. So I don't know how it is that the Huffington Post is so much further ahead. Maybe that's just how they get attention for themselves. But like I was saying, I've already, like a half hour before we went live, I totally saw a graphic that said Joe Biden wins 2020 presidential campaign. So you guys know that's another thing that's happened since I went to the hospital, is that I'm getting the hiccups like a dozen times a day. So they don't last all that long, but it's very uncomfortable. Let's see. That's where we're at right now. And I'm going to do this for a little bit longer. If anybody wants to call, the number's right there on the screen. It's 805 Mox News, 805-669-6397. It's nice to have those guys join us this evening. I know Craig was very much looking forward to getting him on the show. And they sound like really creative guys, and I bet we'll be able to do something interesting with them in the not too distant future, which is probably why Craig was so interested in getting them on the show. You okay, honey pie? Girl's having a hard time. My Boo Bear's having a hard time. My Boo Bear's doing much better. He's doing much, much better. So that's a really good thing. But my girl's having a hard time today. So I'm trying to keep an eye on her. All right. So again, if anybody wants to call, number is 805-669-6397. We're doing this because it's election night in the USA, and I thought I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for my tongue to get a little better, because it's like my tongue has been very messed up, and it's still kind of messed up, but it's getting better. So let's see. Hello, caller.
Hello, Mike. What's going on? It's Michelle from Texas.
Hey, Michelle. I am doing this thing that I haven't done for a little while. What's going?
Yeah, making, huh? Nah, I see what's up. I'm just messing with you. It was good to talk to you. I haven't heard you.
It's good.
And it's great to see that you're still alive and kicking. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you too. How are you doing?
Just doing the same old, Mike. Nothing changes. It's like Groundhog Day over here.
Yeah, I know that feeling. It's really good to hear from you, Michelle. We'll do a show tomorrow night at the regular 7 p.m. time, and we'll talk a little bit more about what it is that I've experienced over the last few weeks and what's happening, because I don't know what the fuck is happening, but I'm trying to I'm just trying to feel better, you know. I'm trying to heal up a little bit.
That starts with being positive and don't be so stressed out.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to. I haven't been able to deal with the news at all since I got out of the hospital.
You're lucky with that one.
Yeah. I haven't been able to deal with that. Partially, my computer broke. And Craig's working on getting me a computer back in place so that I can be doing news stuff. But I really just haven't wanted. I haven't been watching it at all. I can't even do the local news, even the weather. It just seems like it's just watching the local news weather seems like it's political somehow, and I just don't want to deal with politics, you know. And it's but it seemed like there'd probably be a lot of people wanting to touch bases on a day like today, you know. So
Yeah, that's true. And you know, the politics is shit. You haven't missed anything. It's just the same fucking repetition, just different talking heads. That's all.
Yeah. Well, it's like I was saying, Michelle. You know, it kind of, it doesn't really like I was gonna do tomorrow night's show is gonna be grief counseling, you know, but it's kind of like we need the grief counseling tonight because we have this sorry state of our fucking politics where you know one of these fucking idiots is gonna be, you know, king of the world for the next 4 years, and it's just it's so sad, you know, when they you know when we talk about all this, you know. Everything, you know, about being about the young people and all this shit, and they have these fucking dinosaurs, you know, who nobody wants to fucking. I can't believe anybody wants to look at these people or listen to these people.
But that's how the system works, and you know that as well as I do.
Yeah.
That's the tip we have. Either this clown or the next clown. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who it is. We all know that.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, Americans are strong as fuck because no matter what clown they put up there, we still go about our business. We still hustle. We still try to figure out how to make our happiness ourselves because you can't count on them.
Yeah. No, there's nothing to count on there from these people are just evil doing evil, you know. And it's so sad that we give them the power to do it and then don't hold them accountable, you know.
Well, it's in the name of greed, you know.
Yeah.
It's the name of greed, and that's all it is. And it's unfortunate that people has given up on that. That it's just like, you know, the government's like taking money from you for why, you know. And we can start with the taxes. Well, why are we taxed? And who is that money going to? And what is the Federal Reserve? And those are the things that affect your lives every day, and nobody seems to give a fuck to see. Well, why are you taxing me for shit that I already paid taxes for, but you got to pay it again? Like, I mean, so many things that could, you know, that are things that actually affect your life. And this bullshit about, okay, what's the next clown that's going to get elected in? We know it's going to be the same fucking shit. Wall Street was happy with Biden picking Kamala. So why is Wall Street happy? Why is, you know, this and that? Well, because it's the same old shit.
Right.
Just a different fucking, now we're going to have a different color. Possibly. It's going to go from red to blue. Who knows? Who knows? Because it's not over to the fat lady thing, and that bitch hasn't even cleared her throat yet. So, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's like I said, Michelle, half an hour before I came on the air tonight, I saw one news network declare Joe Biden had won the presidential election. So, yeah. So
you don't tell me that the people that own the media know some inside information. Come on, you could not possibly be saying that, Mike.
You know, it's obvious that they got a narrative that they want to push real hard, anyways.
Absolutely. Everybody's got. I mean, they have a dog in the fight. The dog that they put there to represent us is a three-legged goddamn horse. Like, okay, you know, when you had somebody that could have did something. I know. Wilco, I'm not gonna talk about Bernie, but goddamn, he had a better fucking following. He had more people that was gonna go for him. This would have been a no-brainer. You know what? It stops here because everything's turning blue. You know, because he was actually thinking about us. But the bad part about that is that he brought up the word socialist, and the uneducated thought, like, well, socialism kind of sounds like communism, so that can't be good, right? That's not good, right? No.
It's not, you know, I mean, the media really has always been against Bernie, you know, and it's because he offers something that looks like it could actually be real change. You know, and that's why he has a giant grassroots movement that supports him. You know,
you know, Michael, it's not even about the change part. I think it's about, change in a sense of money, currency. That's what that they see. How could they fucking give us more money to work a fucking decent job, 40 hours, but yet, you know, you can't afford shit? You know, it's their thought of thinking, this Bernie Sanders is going to make it like too much like right, too much like the America that we all dreamed of, too much like people are going to actually buy their houses, going to be able to, you know, buy cars, and the economy is going to boom. And they're like, well, wait. That's less money I get. That's their thought. And now when you have only 6 big guys owning the fucking media, of course they're all going to say the same fucking thing. Every talking head's going to say the exact same thing. Socialism is bad. Socialism is something that's going to help everyone. But people bought it. And you know what? Shame on the media. But it's all about their bosses. Their bosses said, you got to fucking, either you say it this way or your ass is out. So anybody with integrity, when you go into that job, you have an obligation to tell us the fucking truth. None of them, all of them have failed us. Every fucking one of them. Just like when I went to vote, it shows on there the Trump and then Biden and then Howard for the Green Party. Did anybody ever hear anything about the third party? Anybody?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Blackballed just like Bernie was blackballed. You know, and it's just like, okay, so it's going to be more of the same, but maybe this guy won't be as destructive as the last guy, so why not? And then Tom Perez goes on there talking about, I'm really confident about Biden. Every time I see him, he's got such a punchable face that I'm like punching my screen like, oh, you're a fucking coward, you're a dick, you're part of the problem, motherfucker.
Yeah, you were supposed to be the fucking cure, and you're part of the sickness, man. That guy he's not something new. He's just there to hold the fucking status quo in place. And that's the problem. That's the problem with both the Democrats and the Republicans, is that either one of them can have giant grassroots movements if they just act like, they had something to offer. Nobody has fucking shit to offer the people of America, and the people are tired of it. They just can't take it anymore.
I mean, like, it was proof. I mean, 2016, it was proof. They were against Bernie. They did the same thing. Okay, last time, who was the culprit? Fucking that cunt-ass fucking Wasserman. And what did they do? Did she get fired for all that shit that she got caught doing to try to help Hillary? No. She actually got another fucking position, still there in Congress. And like, bitch should have been fired and fucking like, no, bitch, you're done because you went against, another one that you should have been behind that had more followers, that had more people behind them that would have fucking won in a landslide. Now, this time it's fucking that goddamn stupid fucking jackass that I just said earlier, Peter, whatever the fuck his name is. But this time it's him that's taking the hit because now he fucked over Bernie. And then here we go. So if for some reason Biden doesn't win, put it on Perez, Tom Perez. Yeah. Put it on that. I'm not fucking talking about it. Well, I'm really confident that Biden would have won, or will win, And it's like, bitch, you should have been confident enough to know who the strongest horse was. And it isn't Biden. By a long shot, it isn't him. It was Bernie. And so here we are.
The thing about it is, Michelle, is that when it comes to Bernie, is that what the Democratic Party needs desperately is a giant grassroots movement. This whole all the Bernie voters were looking for somewhere to go, basically. Because they're not Democrats, as far as the Democrat establishment goes, they're not fucking that. So they're looking for somewhere to go, and all the Democrats had to do was act like they were going to, welcome them with open arms, and instead, they turn their backs on them and act like they don't matter. And it's what the Democrats need more than anything is that giant grassroots movement to say, yes, this is a breath of fresh air that's going to push us over that goal line.
They already got that breath of fresh air back in 2016 and now. Mm-hmm. But that's just the way the system works, though. It's going to be because the Republicans and the Democrats, they're the same. They're looking for their own interests. They're looking for their own pockets. They're looking for, how they can help themselves, not us. They're not up there to represent us. When you fucking vote for your senator, they're not there to represent us. They're there like, vote for me, motherfuckers, because when I get there, I'm going to do whatever I can to make bank. Fuck you. That's what that's all about. The
I-
third party, I've heard about it and I've seen it. Howard and I got it for Hawkins. Is it
Yeah.
Hawkins?
Howie Hawkins.
Okay. And I seen him on the ballot, and I was just I was so fucking pissed off at the fucking polling place. I looked at it, and I was just like, I voted for Biden. Like we said before, the lesser of two evils. It's fucking pissed me off because I seen Howard on there, and I was just like, well, why can't we write somebody in? Let's make sure you don't do that shit here. And I was like, and how many times was the third party, the Green Party, just like Jill Stein when she ran for that? How often did you see that on the fucking news? They're supposed to have that obligation. They're supposed to have that integrity to fucking inform us. That's why they're there. For that matter, I go talk to my gossiping goddamn aunt and let her tell me what the world's about, And then you motherfuckers have a responsibility, and again, they're letting us down. And why? Because their bosses are big money, and if you don't say this, then you're fired. And people would rather have a job and lie to us and sleep okay at night, I guess.
Well, it's like you're saying, they're not there. They have an agenda, and their agenda is not to inform us, Michelle. Their agenda is to make us better consumers, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're selling Biden, Fucking Bernie, he don't know what he's talking about, even though he's the most sane motherfucking candidate that we've had, since, goddamn. I keep going flashback to 2016. And that's why I'm just so dude, if you accidentally fucking vote in Trump again, yeah, and then even if they don't, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter, man. Because either way, they're still going to be looking out for themselves.
Yeah.
They think it's little business, all these senators and all these representatives that, they're named representatives to represent the people who voted your ass in there to begin with. Bitches, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't even be there. But how quickly they forget. They let that shit go to their head that, well, fuck, man, I got a little power now. People fucking be like, oh, shit, you know a dirty way to do something and get away with it? I'm in. And that's what we have. And it's a damn shame because it's not the way the forefathers had created this shit.
Yeah, well,
it's
it's like you saying, Michelle. It's like the first thing they want to know when you come up to them with an idea of how to make this amazing thing happen. The first thing they want to know is, okay, what am I going to get out of it?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. They don't think about what am I going to do to help people because people are struggling right now. Because people have lost jobs because of the pandemic. It's not because they don't want to go to work. It's because their job was told you cannot open right now because of the pandemic. So people are out of work, out of their control. Do you not know that people are not out there fucking losing their minds trying to figure out how to make ends meet? And the government's like, well, I don't know if we're going to pass another stimulus package. You motherfuckers. Yes, you should. You should not even be thinking twice of it. Just like every year, they have to go back and renew the 9/11, thing for health.
Yeah, the first responders. Yeah.
Start making it infinity. You guys will be paid forever, or we'll take care of your medical bills forever until you leave this earth. Why do you have to keep going back and thinking about something like that, Mike? What do you have to think about? Well, maybe this year we may not be able to make ends meet, so you have health problems, you can't afford it, I'm sorry, you can't pay, you must die. That's our system. And it's a damn shame that people have not fucking woken up to that shit. And it's a damn shame that the media has fucking let us down again by not telling everybody, show the whole race. Show the whole race. There wasn't just two people, there's two parties. There was actually three. And they did it again, So that's why now I'm just like, well, let's see what happens. But either way, we're still going to have to fucking hustle and figure out how to make ends meet. Because these motherfuckers ain't doing shit.
Yeah. No, I agree. They're not going to change anything. Neither one of these guys are going to change a motherfucking thing.
Nope. Mm-mm. And the one, and you even hear it from Trump saying that the one I was worried about to going up against is Bernie because Bernie had real followers.
And that's the whole point. That's what I keep saying is this is what the Democrat seem not to be able to understand is that they desperately need those people, you know?
They don't want to make money. And Bernie's going to be like, no, let's shut this down. There's extra money going over here. There's this big fund going over here. Like, oh, no. We need to shut this down, tighten up the purse strings here and get the money out there to the people who actually fucking need it. This fucking world or this goddamn country that y'all ran into the fucking ground. That's why they don't want to fucking do that, because then their fucking bank account isn't going to grow. Meanwhile, us peasants stay where we are. And that's what they want. They want to keep that boot on our neck. And people can't figure it out. I don't know. I don't understand it. It baffles me. I stopped trying to understand people a long time ago because otherwise I would be insane. You know?
Yeah, you can only take so much of it.
Yeah, that's why when you said sometimes that you got to take a break from all that, oh, hell yeah. Get to a time where I had to take a break from politics, too, because I was like, there was so much crazy going on and so much, like, I never thought in my life I would ever see this. And then another one happened right after that. Oh, okay, time out. I need a break. I was like, I need a break. Got away from politics and got myself back, like, to where I can actually sleep at night and not be pissed off, going to bed thinking about, like, how do they think it's okay to fucking from Meals on Wheels? How do they think it's okay?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you guys thinking it's okay? But yet, I'm behind the Bible. But
Right.
fuck Meals on Wheels, it helps nobody. It helps a lot of fucking people that can't go out there and fucking go grocery shopping, that doesn't have the privilege like we do to be able to walk around and do stuff for ourselves. There are people that are helpless, and it's not their fault. It's their fault. Because something happened to them?
People don't want to be getting fucking food from Meals on Wheels. That's not where they want. They want to go to the grocery store and they want to get the food that they love. They don't get that from Meals on Wheels. So,
And even the ones that do get Meals on Wheels are the ones that actually can't go out and do anything for themselves because they can't afford it. And it's just like it's helping, and it's elderly people that we're talking about.
yeah.
This country is like, oh, you're old, you're not working, you're not slave working in a fucking factory, so you're no good to us, so yeah, you're gone. Veterans, you guys already went over there to war, yeah, we don't need you no more, you're fucking gone too. Disrespect all the way across the board.
It's there doesn't seem to be respect really in that way, Michelle, for anyone, let alone across the board. The only people that get that kind of respect are, rich people.
But I'm tired of that monopoly they have going on in this country. It's happening in the world, I'm sure. But like in this country, how they're trying to destroy the United States Post Office. And it's like, my gosh, that's been around for centuries. Like, why? Because Bessel said that he could handle it. So why are you going to give it to a fucking multi-billionaire, almost trillionaire by now, I'm sure, and you're destroying everybody's livelihood because that's people's jobs. And it's like always the big guy stepping on the little guy. Well, I make more money than you, so I can outbuy you. I can do whatever. How does that happen? How is that legit in the United States of America when it's supposed to be equal all the way around? They're letting vessels get too big that it's going to be what? Like a bank? You get too big that we can't, fine you. We can't shut you down because, you'll destroy everything. So they're going to do that to vessels and let him, he's going to already fucking get rid of UPS, FedEx, and all that shit when it's like, bitch, you're too big. You're too big already. It's like, you need to fucking tone it down. Don't want to fucking open up any more goddamn stores. Let the fucking middleman actually have a fucking chance. The other fucking companies, let them have a chance to survive. Why does everything have to go to one company because he's got the money and fuck everything else? This is America. It's supposed to be good for everybody, not just one fucking person. One fucking person is making all this goddamn money. Meanwhile, you can have all kinds of even mom and pop, little post office and shit.
Yeah.
They're going to stop them, just like Walmart stomped on all the mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
And how is that okay to keep doing that when they have an obscene amount of money Well, this is America, the land of the free and everybody opportunity, and it's like a fucking dream. It's like, yeah, it's a dream. They call it. Was that George Carlson called it? Yeah, it's a dream because you gotta be fucking asleep to believe it. It's like, ain't that a bitch? And that's what they're doing. They're letting a handful of people destroy this fucking country. When they say, hey, look, if you fucking keep building, then exile. They need to be exiled. You want to still keep your companies here in the United States anyways, because he would be stupid if he wouldn't. But if you don't stop making all these other big ass plans, that's going to only help you, because you're still going to give them starvation wages. You're still going to run them like dogs. That's not some job that everybody be proud of. Like, yeah, I work at Amazon. You've seen their health shit. You've seen a guy that was up there in the beginning of the summer talking about Bezos isn't helping us with the PPE, not doing nothing, whatever. So what does he do? He throws out a commercial saying, we're helping, this fake-ass Amazon commercial, where everybody, all the employees had PPE on, and everybody looked like they were on point. Not one of them looked like they were dying because they just had to come back a mile and a half from break to be back on the line on time. Not one of them. Everybody looked fresh and everything. It's like the horror stories that you would hear about Amazon and how he runs his shit. Man, people that look up to him, like, oh, well, he started out in the garage and he made a big thing of himself. Okay, but you can stay up there in the same vicinity as UPS and FedEx. Now look where he's shot. Now he's shot way up to where the other companies are struggling to even have a chance because of one fucking person that can't fucking, let people fucking have a chance. I mean, I know people are going to be pissed off or whatever because, well, that's just smart marketing. That's not supposed to happen in this country. It's supposed to give everybody a shot. People jobs that actually, they treat you with respect, mom and pop shop, whatever. No, they're letting a few companies, because they're so big, let you take down the only grocery store you knew in town is shut down because everybody's not going to Walmart. It's like, goddamn, give other fucking people a chance to also thrive. But when you let one or, several companies control and monopolize all the economy, goddamn. How are we supposed to fix the economy if we don't have fucking jobs to go to?
I hear you, Michelle. Look, I don't know that the way to fix the economy, and I said it again and again and again, and the only way to fix this economy permanently in the United States is to begin a 21st century infrastructure project, if not a 22nd century infrastructure project, because that's what we should really be looking at this point. It's too late to start thinking about the 21st century. We're bathing in it, okay? We have to start thinking about the next century and how it is that we work. We need new roads that fucking are equipped to for the new everything, and it's not, no one's talking about that shit, and it really pisses me off. And that's really how the first step of fixing it and making this country head anywhere near the right direction is to focus on the fact that our current infrastructure cannot and will not maintain the influx of the population of this country. It is not going to happen.
Well, let me tell you something. The only time talking about make America great again is when this fucking buffoon came out and coined the phrase. Okay, whatever. Tell me when. When was America great to begin with? And for who? When was it great for us? The people. The people who's supposed to mean everything under the politicians. We mean everything to them. They love us and they want to make sure that we're okay. Well, they want to make sure that we prosper. They want to make sure that we can afford to buy a house, that we can send our kids to college and everything else. And that when I send my kid to school, I know you're not going to dumb them down with some core math. You're going to fucking say 2 + 2 is goddamn 4 and not roundabout bullshit that is not going to help them but confuse them. So when was America great? And are we there yet? Because I don't recall.
Well, I just look.
Somebody's fucking
in my opinion, there was a time when America was a great booming fucking economy that was just going skyrocketing forward. And and that was way before Trump, anybody ever knew the name Trump. Okay. And what made America great in the first place, in my opinion, was that we had this 20th century infrastructure, and for whatever reason, we've allowed that to crumble, and now we're at this point to where if we want America to be the greatest, then we have to have the latest and the greatest infrastructure in order to make sure that we are the ones with the advantage in order to make that happen. And no one talks about this in this way at all.
No, they don't, because it went from doing that, from actually living up to our fucking reputation, to America's the richest country in the fucking, United States of America is the richest country in the world and everything. They should have lived up to it instead of being like, well, all of a sudden, like, instead of infrastructure, how about we go ahead and just keep the money to ourselves? That's where that shit went down.
Yeah, I agree.
Instead of taking care of your fucking actual state or country, now you're thinking about how are we going to cut ends? How are we going to cut ends to make some more money? How are we going to do that?
Well, instead of infrastructure,
that's where we fell behind.
Instead of infrastructure, why don't we take all that infrastructure money and we give it to the war profiteers? And we just keep building the military and keep building the military and talking about how that's what makes America great. And,
it's been said time and time again. That's why they got so much trillions and trillions of going to the Pentagon, and for what? Talking about we're going to fight them over there before they get here.
Right.
No, we're funding.
Right.
Ain't nobody trying to fuck us up. They're trying to fuck you up, government, but they ain't trying to fuck us up. We ain't done nothing to them. They look at us and they actually laugh at us or feel sorry for us. Because right now, what we have representing us is pathetic. It's a fucking, like, I cannot believe it. Pinch me. Am I dreaming? Like, to have a fucking buffoon who had no experience and no right to get even on the fucking ballot. They got him on the ballot. And he made a whole lot of people rich, and that's all they cared about. Now they're all jumping ship. Now they're like, they don't want nothing to do with fucking Trump because, yeah, you got what you wanted. You got your fucking money. You got your profit during a pandemic, but somehow you happen to make so many millions during a pandemic when a lot of people couldn't even fucking rub two nickels together. So they got what they want. Now they're jumping on shit. All the Republicans are fucking hiding because they don't want to get caught by a fucking anchor, fucking NBC News person or whatever. They don't want to get caught by the news and asking questions, about Trump. They're all fucking hiding. They're all squirming. But did you see what happened with Ken fucking Tucky? McConnell got voted back in. Like, are you fucking serious? I seen that earlier on your show. You put it up there.
Yeah, it's really hard to get rid of fucking these people once they get in there, especially somebody like McConnell. He's just, I don't get it. I don't know how somebody like McConnell could possibly make the people of Kentucky feel proud. You know what I mean? So
it doesn't have to do with that because I've seen a fucking debate. Part of it, I couldn't take the whole fucking thing. And they had him, and I think it was MJ Hager that was running against him. And she was talking about all kinds of stuff about, why would you not, put the bills out there and let us vote for it? Why are you hiding them? Why are you not, giving us a chance to put it out there in the House? And McConnell's response, and she was like, that's your response? There's a lot of people in dire straits right now because of the virus. A lot of people don't have work, and you're just going to sit there and just do nothing. Like, you're okay with that? He fucking, I swear to God, he laughed in that fucking debate more than anything. And yet people voted him in. What's fucking wrong with people?
And
do they not understand the process?
That's one of those things that I despise.
The table for a vote, it's never going to be heard.
That's
and that they voted him in. Oh my God.
that's one of those things that I despise. It's like Camilla Harris does that at the end of every sentence. She does that laughing fucking thing, dude. You know,
Oh.
Rachel
I'm
Maddow.
like, yeah, I'm one of you. And Biden's like, and then Biden tries to be down with us talking about, what are you talking about, man? What do you mean, man?
Come on, man.
Well, yeah, what's up, Mike? What's going on, man?
Come on,
You know?
man.
Come on, man. Yeah, that's him. Him and Corn Pop. What up, man? The fuck? Man, me and Corn Pop's my VP. Shit, fuck them all up. What up, man? Gotta stay true. Gotta stay true to my OGs. But yeah, that's how he tries to be down with us. Knowing how perverted that motherfucker is, and the other one's the same way. Like, god damn, this is so sad. I don't know.
Well, there's something seriously wrong with both of them, and that's what I keep saying. You would think that you could find someone who actually seemed like they might kind of just a little tiny bit care about the people,
They're not in it for that no more, Mike.
Yeah.
We know that. We all know that. They're not in it for us no more. They're about themselves, and that's it. It's like, how much money can you hoard? Do that it's never going to be enough. You would never be able to spend that in a lifetime. Your great-great-great-grandchildren's never going to be able to spend that amount of money. That's obscene. That has no place in this country. Everybody should have a shot. How do you have so many fucking billionaires and shit? I mean, I understand in sports and everything else because they get paid outrageously for whatever they fucking do. But when you have a politician, it's just like, how are you like a millionaire when you're representing us? You don't make that much money up in Congress. That's why they want to keep you humble.
Yeah, athletes are entertainers, and entertainers should get paid whatever entertainers get paid. I mean, like, you watch the guys.
I didn't fucking, put my vote, our rights. I didn't put my vote to say, well, I want, LeBron James to be my representative. No, but the ones that I did, I would thought that they would have some fucking
integrity.
Common
sense.
Yeah, that goes without saying. But if you don't have common sense, it can be taught. Either you got it or you don't. And these motherfuckers are looking at nothing but the color green. It's not even our skin color; it's the color green. And they're all going for that and fucking everyone else of any other color in this fucking free, beautiful, great America that we live in. Fuck yeah, making America great again. Fuck yeah. What up, Pete? I heard a song, I got inspired.
He is inspiring, huh?
Yeah, he is. And essential, goddammit. Don't you fucking forget that shit. But now, I just wanted to call in and just touch base with you and just shoot the breeze a little bit.
Yeah, it's really good to hear from you, Michelle.
And brother, things are kind of tense over here, though, because they're like, if this state turns blue, fucking people are about to lose their minds and shit. So.
Do you think there's really a chance of that?
I don't know. There's a lot of fucking out there. There's a lot of fucking, I'm surrounded by red.
Honestly, Michelle, I think that there's a lot of tension regardless of the outcome of the election, that a lot of people are about to lose their minds. So the election just kind of is, one more, that extra fucking straw,
This is the shit that our president created.
Yeah.
That's to have that he was supposed to, look over and not care what party he was at. He was supposed to be in the middle, working with both sides. He did not do that.
Yeah.
So all he's doing is enticing and fanning the flames of, if I don't win, you all fucking just go the fuck off. And some of his followers, I think they would follow through, right? That's why they were even have warnings on the news over here talking about gonna lay low. Not like that, not as eloquent as I put it, but that's what they were pretty much telling you, depending on the outcome of the results and stuff, that it just may not get pretty. And I'm just like, okay. So yeah.
Well, I think that's one of these fake news, misreporting shit, where they're trying to get you to like be afraid, because that's what they always want. They always want us to be afraid, and what they want us to be most afraid of is each other, and like,
Well,
oh,
yeah.
we can't handle a fucking election in this country without it melting down. That's where we're at now, Fuck you, you asshole. Give me a
But
break.
they fucked it up, man, because they didn't make me scared. They made me prepared. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit. Now I'm fucking holding, like, for real, for real. Because I'm like, oh, is that what you're going to tell me? Okay. Because when I went over there to vote and shit, there was fucking protesters there, on the red side and everything, and I just kind of walked through, and I fucking had my biker shirt, I had my bandana on and everything, my glasses on, my fucking face mask, and I just like, don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you.
That is the wrong one. Don't fuck with her.
What's that?
That's the wrong one. Don't fuck with her.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because I'm just like, no. I'm here to do what my right is, and I'm not intimidated. I'm not easily intimidated.
I always figure that's how it works for me too, Michelle. Is I figure they see me and they go, nope, not that guy. Don't fuck with him.
Yeah. That too. And you know what? And when it comes down to it, don't talk to the quiet people, because I try to hear that you're on, you're on and everything on TV. I know you're the type of person like, I don't have to say much, but when I do have to, you don't want to hear me. I know you can be silent and just like be like, yeah, talk shit all you want. But when they fire you up or when it comes to violence, bitch, we're going to throw down. We're going to throw down. And that's it. And that's how I was feeling like they were trying to do, was intimidate me, kind of like, come on, bitch, and shit like that. And I just look at them like, really? Like, we're doing this? Like, oh, my God. I swear, I was looking around like, okay, what is this, like a TikTok video? Like, what the fuck? But I went, I fucking voted, took care of my business and shit, and I was going to go to the grocery store to get some things, but, man, it was so filled, like, everybody was believing it and buying into that.
Huh, wow.
But like we said, that's the fear factor and the power of the fucking media.
Yeah.
They don't understand how much power they have.
No.
They don't understand. People don't buy newspapers anymore. They count on you to be honest to us.
Yeah.
We're dependent on you.
Yeah.
And you're letting us down every time we turn around. Every time we turn around, because your boss has said you cannot say this and you cannot say that. You can certainly not give them a heads up of what may happen or may not happen. Just act like everything's all peaches and cream. And so then when you go out there in the real world and you see actually what's happening, it's just like, oh, fuck. I am fucking like, I said, no, I'll go shopping another time. Went straight home. Like, I'm done. Yeah, I did, bro. Because I'm like, either
I hear you, Michelle. I mean, I am having that problem a lot lately. Just like, no, I don't want to deal with this right now. We'll do it later, So.
And I did it too. I was like, maybe it'll be inconvenient later, but I'm like, either I'll get a cap in my ass or I'll get the Rona. Fuck that, I'm out. Shit. Nah, fuck that. No one has time for that shit. But yeah, so I just been kind of watching the results a little bit here and there, but I did get a notification that you were on, and I was just like, oh, wait, shit, what the fuck?
Well,
I've been watching the show and everything.
Craig's been trying to get me to put up a thing saying we were going to go live for a while, but I think I was kind of like, what happened?
Mm-hmm. I know you don't want to talk about it, but I just want to tell you that I hope you get better and just stay positive and don't stress out, because you're not a doctor. You don't know what's going on with you, so stop fucking letting all those things go in your head in a million miles a second. Stress is no good for your immune system, so just get right. Do yoga. You said your shoulders are hurting. Do some yoga. That's just holding and fucking just holding it above your head, your hands.
Yeah.
I'm over here doing it. I'm over here doing it. And the phone was getting away from me. I'm like, oh, shit. But anyways, just put your hands up on top of your, just stretch them all out, touch them palm to palm, and just press against each other, for 30 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever. And then keep doing slow exercises like that. You get your strength back. Show whatever the fuck you're fighting is like, bitch, We are not dying. We marching, motherfucker. So get it together, Mikey.
Yeah, well, we've been going out every day, you know, walking the dogs and stuff. I'm not walking the dogs by myself right now, which is really bothering me. But
Well, that's to get your strength back and start doing yoga. Look on YouTube. They got different things for yoga. But seriously, I never believed in that shit because I thought it was stupid. I was like, yeah, okay, a bunch of Karens doing yoga. Well, no, I started doing it, and I was like, well, shit. I guess I don't have to kill myself at a gym. Do it like that, and you'll have the same feeling as having a physical workout. You just gotta wake up your muscles again, Mike. That's all you gotta do. Wake them up.
yeah,
And that's how you show them. Hold them in one position and fucking remind them, here you are, here's where you're supposed to be. You got it? Okay. Rest, and then do it again. And motherfuckers, wake the fuck up. You got this, Mike. Whatever you're going through, you got this. I'm going to be working tomorrow, and I work until at least 11, so I hope to catch some of your show.
yeah.
You know, and I just, you know, I'm afraid I'm going to miss the beginning of it. That's probably where the juicy stuff's going to come from, but...
Yeah, I'll probably yeah.
Just know I'm thinking about you and I'm praying for you, and I know you got this, Mike. You got that mentality. You got that fucking inner strength.
Yeah.
So don't shit fucking get you down. You know, okay, something happened. God told you, hey, take a step back, man. Or, you know, something told you, fucking relax. You know, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. You can take it in. So take a breather, bro. Take a breather. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get back to you.
Yeah,
And
I'm trying to
shit
just
God.
prioritize everything and just stay cool, not get
Yeah,
stressed
that's
out and
what's
stuff like you're
important,
saying.
bro.
You know, stress is.
I know your priorities. I know how you are, your work ethic and the way it is. But it's just time that you think about you, okay? Don't worry about us. We're still going to be here. Look, we all showed up.
Yeah, I know.
There's OGs there in the fucking chat. We all showed up. So, you know, so take care of you. Because you're no good if you don't take care of yourself. Okay?
Yeah,
So,
that's been the whole thing, Michelle. Is that, you know, again, I've just, it's not like I'm trying to avoid coming out here. It's that I need to heal, you know, and I don't. Yeah.
But we know that. You don't even have to explain yourself. We know that.
Yeah.
That something's going on, and we just fucking be like, hey, you got this, so. You know, we're still here.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it was 2 months later, I would be here.
Yeah, and we're working on it. You know, I mean, we're working on it. We're gonna do another show tomorrow night, and then we'll do more shows next week, and we'll get it back to where it should be. You know, it's just a matter of it was like tonight when Craig was trying to get the show ready. You know. It was like goddamn chipmunk. All I hear is fucking chipmunks on the microphone. All I get is fucking chipmunks, and I mean, and that he went through that for like 20 minutes, man. And it was like if I had to go through that for 20 minutes, that would have sapped out all my fucking energy. So
These chitlins, chickens,
chipmunks.
Chipmunks.
Yeah, because the microphone was screwed up. For some reason, the microphone goes all sometimes, and it took him 20 minutes to fucking fix it. So if it was
that's some fucking high tech jargon, man. That's why I had to get it. I was just like, oh, I don't know, I'm just a meaner citizen, so I don't understand that jargon. I looked around me like chipmunks. No, I got squirrels, bro.
You know, like like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the Chipmunks, yeah, fuck yeah, man, shit. Or when you kick a guy square in the crotch. I've never done that. Don't believe them if they said I did. I would never. Not for real, I would not. No, oh my God. But anyways, well, I'm glad to hear your voice.
I'm glad to hear your voice too, Michelle. It's really good to hear from you.
Well, that's why I had to touch base with you, Mike, because I always think about you, you know, and I just want you to keep up the good fight. But when you're ready, don't feel pressed. Don't feel pressed that I got to do it right away. Look what you did. You just came on today and look at your chat.
Yeah.
Look at all the old ninjas on there.
Yeah. Well, it was a lot of it was.
We want you to get fucking better and not be pushing shit.
Yeah.
And
A lot.
you're no good for us if you don't take care of yourself, like I said. So take care of business, Mike. Take care of you.
Yeah. Okay,
You
Michelle.
have a mind, and I really enjoyed talking to you. So have a good night.
Yeah, it's really good to hear from you. I look forward to talking again soon.
All right, brother. Good night.
Bye, Michelle.
Bye. Take care.
And it's our buddy Michelle from Texas. And again, a big part of the reason why I haven't been doing shows is because my tongue has been very fucked up. And I just really wanted to give a chance for my tongue to heal. On Friday, I will have been out of the hospital for 3 weeks. I have not had a single puff of weed. And it's not because I don't want a puff of weed. It's not because I couldn't take a puff of weed. It's because I don't want to coat my tongue and smoke over and over and over again while it's trying to heal. So that's been the biggest part of why I haven't been doing a live show the last few weeks. So you guys know. Again, trying to heal up, get to where we need to be, and keep moving forward from there. Hello, caller.
Hey, how's it going, Mark? This is Manny from the east side. How's it going?
All right, Manny. How about you? How you doing?
Well, I'm kind of concerned at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my guy is losing.
Is he?
Yeah,
It looks like. Oh, look at that.
everyone.
It says 192 to 108. Wow.
209 to 118.
Oh, you got
Joe Biden.
You got 209.
Yeah, it's at the Associated Press.
Let's see what we got here. The Associated Press is they're always in a hurry to fucking call the numbers. 209, 118. There you go. I see it. They did that with. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember. They called the Hillary Clinton the Democratic nominee before California even voted, because of super delegates, which was just a load of bullshit. Fucking hate the Associated Press.
So are you saying that I shouldn't trust the AP?
It appears that none of the media is trustworthy these days, Manny.
Oh man, I was talking with the other guy on the phone, on your guy on the phone, and we just sound like Joe Biden just pretty much won the entire West Coast, California, Oregon, and Washington. That's like 55 plus 25. That's how much? 80 votes.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's not over till the fat lady sings, Manny. They're still trying not to call fucking Florida. As soon as they call Florida, Trump's gonna jump way up. They're trying not to call Georgia yet. Give me a fucking break. Georgia? You trying to tell me Georgia's gonna go to Biden? I don't think so. So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Texas. Texas is still counting though.
Right, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, it's just what's the likelihood that somehow Biden's gonna win Florida and Texas and Georgia? We'll see. Where it's really at, Manny, is it's really at fucking Pennsylvania and Ohio and Minnesota. Those are very, very important states. Nevada's very important. These other states are gonna be close. They're gonna keep it in the game, but you got to win Ohio. You're gonna have to win Pennsylvania, and probably Nevada would be my guess. So.
Well, Nevada's great over here on the AP, so I'm not sure if they haven't closed yet or they haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the numbers, dude. It's crazy. My guy is losing. Like, what the hell, man? You know what I'm afraid of? This is what I'm afraid. Let's say that Biden wins. He's Hillary Clinton live version of it. a light version of Hillary Clinton. That's what she is.
Hey, look, I think that Camilla Harris is a horrible human being. And Joe Biden is a horrible human being, and Donald Trump is a horrible human being, and Mike Pence is a horrible human being, and Hillary Clinton is a horrible human being, and Barack Obama is a horrible human being, and fucking Dick Cheney is a horrible human being, and George W. Bush is a human being, and it just goes on endlessly, and for whatever reason, apparently that's never going to change.
Now, let me ask you this, though. What is your opinion on Hunter Biden, though? Have you seen the pictures that that Chinese media has posted about Hunter Biden?
Hunter Biden is a horrible human being. These people are horrible. I mean, I guess I didn't make it clear. These people are horrible human beings, Manny. I mean, like, and when I say horrible human beings, I mean they just as far as an example of humanity, they're disgusting examples of humanity. Where the whole species would be better off without them.
Oh, that's true, though. But man, that's crazy. I've seen those videos, though, like literally, and there's rumors, and again, those are unfounded rumors that he was banging his niece.
Yeah, these again, the media is completely full of shit. There's nothing there left to trust, Manny.
The fake news media. Do you call it the fake news media now?
It doesn't matter. See, it's like if you call it the fake news media, it's almost as if you're choosing a side, as if there's a side that's not the fake news media. You know what I mean? So it's all the fake news media, Manny. So.
Anyways. Prediction. What do you think is going to happen? 2011 again?
Yeah, 2016 all over again.
So Biden is going to win then?
No, Biden's going to lose.
It's a surprise.
I don't know. My guess is Biden is not going to win, but we will see.
4 years ago, when I was in Boise, I said Hillary Clinton is going to win for sure. Next thing you know, like around midnight to like 1 in the morning most of the time, I was like, what just happened? What the hell just happened? I didn't even vote, people. I mean, back then I couldn't even vote. But now I did vote. And I don't know, it's just crazy, though. I feel like people invested so much emotional time on this that people will lose their mind. Like, legit. People are going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Whoever wins is whoever loses.
Yeah. I agree. It doesn't. But there's so much other stuff going on too, Manny. That people are just on the verge of losing it already. And again, this is just kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back.
I don't know, dude. We'll see what happens. I just want to say hi, man, and like haven't seen you in a while. So I hope everything goes well when it comes to this election and we don't lose our shit tomorrow morning. Because I feel like either way, still people are going to go out in the street and start burning the whole city. Like what happened in Seattle and at the Chaz and in Portland. Still happening in Portland, by the way.
Yeah, well, it's not. Look at the city of Portland is not burnt down. The city of Seattle is not burnt down. And the facts is that again, this is the media just spreads fear. You see the local news, they have local businesses boarding up their fucking storefronts because of the terror of the outcome of the election. Fucking, we do this every 4 years, man. Give me a break. It's not like the people can't handle it.
Anyways, all right. Gotta go.
Okay, man. It's really good to hear from you.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Thanks for calling. That's our buddy Manny. Okay, so let's see. anyways, it looks like currently the media has Joe Biden at about 200 electoral votes. I believe this is the AP map. Again, I get the hiccups like a dozen times a day right now, which is a little bit frustrating. And no one seems to pay attention when I tell them. But we will see. It looks like the West Coast has been called. Nevada, again, is going to be a really important state. Pennsylvania is going to be a really important state. Ohio is going to be a really important state. And they seem to be dragging ass on letting us know what's going on with the outcome of the votes in those states for some reason. Florida should have been called fucking yesterday. But yeah, why is it not showing Florida called? All right, so I am going to play my most political clip, and I will be right back momentarily. Oh, wait a second. Mississippi. Donald Trump is the winner in Mississippi. Nobody saw that coming, right? Okay, so I'm going to play my most political clip here, and I will be back momentarily. And we'll see what happens next.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
All right, let's see. I am getting ready for a cup of tea and a little snack. So, I figure we can do this for another minute or two here. If anybody wants to call, the number's there on the screen. It's 805-669-6397. It's very nice to hear from all the ninjas tonight. You guys, I've been really kind of concerned that I haven't been able to reach out to you in the way that I, wanted to over the last few weeks. So I'm glad to have this time to spend with you. I am again not quite 100% yet, and we'll go into that more tomorrow. Tonight is about this so-called election democratic process here, and we do not have the race called by the AP in Florida, in Texas, in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, in Nevada. We should be hearing more about that very, very soon. I don't know how much longer I can sit in this chair here. I gotta drink some water. But I'm really glad all you guys showed up tonight. It makes me, it lets me know that we can continue doing this, and that there is potential to be had here, making something happen with a live event and all of you beautiful people, because I think we can probably do something cool, just as soon as I kind of figure out what that is. It's strange. Now I seem to be looking at things, a lot of different things, a lot of different ways, and I'm trying to find, I know that there's something to do here that I really want to do, and I'm looking at it and trying real hard to find it. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I like the rain. It started raining a couple of days ago, or yesterday, but it's nice. Definitely feels like autumn, doesn't it?
Yeah, it cooled off, and then it started to get wet, and it definitely feels like there's a weather change in the air, like we're headed a direction.
Yeah, we're headed in a direction, and all the trees have their their cool autumn colors right now.
Oh man, I've seen so many pretty colors in the trees for sure.
Yeah, this is about as beautiful as they're going to look before the rain drops all the leaves, in the next few days. But what a strange night, huh? Ha ha. That's a joke. There was nothing strange about it tonight, was there? Not a damn thing.
No, really. I haven't noticed anything strange about it, honestly.
Me neither. I mean, I haven't as well. I haven't noticed anything really unusual. I have a few friends who are, I don't know if they're Democratic sympathizers, but they have friends who are Democratic sympathizers, put it that way. And they were rather optimistic coming into the evening, And my position has been out on the fence. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump won the election today at all.
Yeah.
And in fact, in a certain way, I think it might be preferable to Joe Biden winning. And I don't say that lightly as well. I've never said anything really great about Donald Trump. But I think that if the Democratic Party wins the election, any kind of activism that's going to occur in the next 4 years, they're just going to look at the activist and say, remember back in 2020 when Joe Biden won running as a Republican? That's the direction of the Democratic Party. If we want to win elections, we have to run like we're Republicans. So I don't want to hear about this activism, and so on and so forth, people asking questions. So I think a Biden victory is actually going to be a loss to the people who actually give a shit about the injustice that occurs around the United States, whatever, class, race, whatever you want to talk about, But I mean, the people who really give a shit, those people are going to be discouraged from speaking out if Joe Biden wins. And to be candid with you, I don't really think there's going to be that much of a difference, Mike.
No, I don't either.
I don't really. These people are the same fucking person.
Yeah.
That, $11 billion, they spent $11 billion on this campaign, all these races. And it's just this huge television production to try and convince us, the working class people, that we have democracy. Mike, we have democracy in the United States. That means that we choose our leaders. I mean, that's absolute rubbish. We don't choose our leaders. Half of us are, or more, 3/4 of us are brainwashed just by watching the fucking television set, you know?
Yeah. No, I don't think there's a lot of choice there. You know, there, like you said, there's not a big difference between Trump and Biden, and you know, and honestly, I think the best thing that could happen to Donald Trump is for him to lose the election, because if he loses the election, basically, he can walk away with like half of the country or half of the voting country and say, let's go do our own thing. Let's go make this thing happen. Apparently they don't care about real Americans. All you real Americans come with me. You know what I mean? And
like a character out of Atlas Shrugged.
Yeah, as opposed to, and then anything bad that happened can just be blamed on the plague, as opposed to, you know, if he has another 4 years and everything fucking goes truly south, he won't have anything to walk away with. So.
Oh, it'll be blamed on the Republican Party or the leadership, Donald Trump. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the economy is going to bounce back. I think the long-term economic growth thing is kind of like fucked for a while. Like, I don't see a positive economic growth in the next couple of years, and I would be suspicious of people who made claims like that to me. So, you know, I don't know. I see it as like a lot of people suffering, the working class trying to make ends meet, and not, you know, and not a lot of luxury, but just austerity, which is what they wanted to give us anyway. Before COVID, the economy was going down in November and December of last year, and they knew this. So so because of the plague, they've been able to engineer this payout to these huge corporations and banks, like they always do, and that was their big giveaway, right, for the market crashing. But that didn't really compensate all the workers, like the restaurant workers and the service workers, who are still more or less fucked, Mike. Like their lifestyles have not improved significantly since last February or March. From what I see.
The restaurant workers, bar workers, those guys are all the people who do concerts and stuff like that. All that shit's done, you know.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
And in fact, like, no Democratic Party came and saved those people, either the city governments or, you know, the bureaucracy of the government. Nobody really came and saved those people. You know, they kind of got screwed. They got, you know, some of them got some loans, a few got some loans, a few, you know, most of us received stimulants, checks of some sort. You know, there was some kind of payout, but nothing compared to what the corporations received. And it's a corporate state. That's what I believe. And that this is all just a charade, just like some dystopic, you know, novel where they pretend that there's elections. And they used to call it in Russia when they would take people to these cities that they had built to show how, you know, impressive the Tsar was. They would make these wood cutouts of like storefronts and buildings, and they'd be, you know, hoisted up by poles so that when you walked through the village or rode through the village on a horse, it looked like there was a town there, and it was just like cutouts. And that's kind of what I think our elections are like. You know, this isn't a democracy. Like, you and your neighbors don't have any fucking voice in what a policy is passed in this country, or what country we decide to overthrow, or, you know, where our CIA agents go to murder people, or which drones we're going to use to assassinate people overseas, or how we're going to rig financial markets to benefit American corporations, or how we're going to penalize other countries' corporations because they're not American, how we're going to brainwash the American public to, like, believe that, you know, so on and on and on. That is a bipartisan endeavor, completely. And Russiagate totally proved that. These people are fucking sick. And if that's the case, I would rather just have, like, a fragmented government so that they all get blamed. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, you know, you could say if it's one-sided, like, say, Biden won, you know, still the Congress would be, you know, it's set in such a manner that, like, whoever wins or loses isn't even going to be able to implement the policy that they want to implement. But ironically, they both want to implement the same fucking policy.
Right.
So it doesn't even matter. So it's like you're living in a weird Franz Kafka story or something, where you're just going around in circles, opening doors, going through doors, opening doors, going through doors, and it leads nowhere. That's what the election system is like, and it's very frustrating. There, on a positive note, Mike, I mean, no, I first of all, I did vote today. I waited to the last minute because I was voting at the last minute. And I voted for a few things, some referendums, I think, and I don't recall which ones. And I voted for Howie Hawkins for president.
Yeah.
And the reason I did that, and the reason I did that was I wanted to support the largest third-party alternative to the system. So that was just a natural. Done, did that. But other than that, I didn't feel very good about any of my ballot because I made a resolution in 2008 or 2008, probably before Obama was inaugurated, that I would never vote for a Democrat ever again in my life. And because I've never voted for a Republican ever in my life, I just couldn't vote for like about 95% of the people on the ballot. It's a fact. And some independents will say, I'm an independent, and they have non-affiliated, but you know that they're a Democrat or a Republican if you know anything about them as individuals. So it really limits, who you can vote for. These two political parties, it doesn't say in the Constitution, and I'm not even a big fan of the Constitution. I mean, I think the Constitution was designed to benefit very wealthy people and has been used as a ruse for a long time. But nevertheless, the Constitution... I don't know, man. I just don't know if it's set up in a way where, political parties. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say there are political parties that determine the process of the election. It isn't even written in the Constitution, Mike. Do you know what I'm talking about? It doesn't say there shall be a party of the left. There shall be a party of the right, Republicans and Democrats, and they shall, control debates, control the state-by-state election process, control city and county government based on partisan, all this kind of stuff. That wasn't written in our Constitution, that our politics would be divided by two political parties, or that is somehow natural, that's the natural evolution of democracy.
Yeah.
This is all fucking rigged. And, I feel very strongly about that, and I do, but I wanted to mention a couple things really quick before, away from the presidential thing, just really super fast. And the first thing is from Marijuana Moment, and they have a couple of articles up right now about what's going on with the initiatives, and they published this earlier tonight. They said Washington, D.C. voters approved psychedelic decriminalization in D.C., Washington, D.C. Campaign announces. And also, New Jersey voters approved a referendum to legalize marijuana, according to a projection from NBC News. So they legalized marijuana through a voter initiative today in New Jersey. And also, apparently, you might be able to buy psychedelic mushrooms in Washington, D.C. So those were a couple of the initiatives, and there's a few more, including some medical initiatives that we'll know the answers to later tonight. So at least voters in a few states had the chance to vote for freedom, Mike.
Which is nice. I mean, I really think that the more options to vote for freedom, the more often, the more likely people are going to want to come out and vote, instead of this same old, nothing ever changes. We're going to keep it just like this for as long as we can. Why should people want to go out and vote for fucking Joe Biden? You know what I mean? Joe Biden's not going to legalize fucking mushrooms. Joe Biden's going to do everything he can to fucking keep from legalizing mushrooms. Joe Biden's going to...
putting those people in jail where they should be, in jail.
Fuck.
And if they have a problem and they go to a psychiatrist, well, they need to take some fucking pills. Here, eat some pills. That's the way it works. I'm Joe Biden. I get sponsored by the pharmaceutical industry. I'm Joe Biden. That's me. They totally are creepy people. These people are the creepiest people. In fact, I've never felt so ambivalent before ever in my life about these people on every level.
Yeah.
The policy, their characters, all that garbage. It's just they're just horrible people, and they represent horrible parties and institutions that haven't benefited people. They've only benefited the rich. And go to OpenSecrets.com and you'll find out, or .org, and you'll find out who gives these assholes money up to the tune of $11 billion. That's the reason why we have elections, is people make money off of it. We don't really need elections to run this corporate government that we have. Amazon does great providing cloud services to the CIA. Northrop Grumman does great charging extra money, more money than they should for weapons they make for the military. There's so much graft and corruption from the ties between corporations and the state. It already is a fucking corporate state. So why even screw around with these elections and pretending we have elections? Why not just let some board members of Microsoft and Boeing and these other corporations determine what the policy is going to be? And that's kind of what they did with COVID. Did you notice that? Did you fucking notice that, Mike? Bill Gates is some goddamn epidemiologist who should be giving expert advice to people on mainstream television because he's really goddamn smart.
Every time I saw Bill Gates, that was my response. Every time I saw Bill Gates, I'm like, what the fuck? And if ever there was a motherfucking Dr. Evil, that guy really looks like it to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I heard Jeff Bezos is interested in buying CNN.
Well, good. So
he'll own both the Washington Post and CNN. That sounds about right, doesn't it? In this country, doesn't that sound reflective of the country we live in? Sounds right to me.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like the country we live in.
I found this article from Sportico.com, which is like a sporting kind of magazine. And they said Biden ads flood the NFL zone as campaign outspends Trump across sports. So for the last 3 days, these people spent up to over $1.3 billion on local and national TV ads through super PACs. And a bulk of these were broadcast during NFL broadcast or people watching sports. So not that I really care, but I'm just saying this is really hardcore brainwashing, right? What's going on? Pretty obvious. Most people know that. A shout out to Sean Connery. He passed the day before Halloween, Mike.
Yeah, Craig told me that. I actually didn't realize it. Like I said, I've been not able to watch the news, but Craig informed me of that. So.
Yeah, he died, and I remember him from that movie Zardoz.
Oh, huh.
It was a John Boorman film. It was one of the first movies he made after he quit the James Bond franchise, and he wore red underwear throughout the entire movie. That was his costume.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very strange.
Amazing.
It's a very strange movie.
It is a weird movie, but anyway, I enjoyed Sean Connery as an actor.
Well, he was the best Bond, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was a good James Bond too. There's this other article from Al Jazeera that says, "Is big tech the real winner of the U.S. presidential elections?" First paragraph says, the campaigns for Donald Trump and Joe Biden spent a combined $192 million on Facebook advertising in the first 10 months of 2020, with over a quarter of that coming in October alone. So that's $40 million just flowing into Facebook in October, according to data from Facebook. So there you go, $192 million on Facebook advertising. So we have these elections for a lot of reasons. One of them is people make money off of them, trading money, doing betting on who they think is going to win.
Yeah, there's huge amounts of money being made off of it. I don't understand why even giving why normal people even give politicians money, because the little bits of money that they can give them, that's it just doesn't make sense, because they're taking all this giant money and doing, like you said, spending $100 million on fucking Facebook ads. Give me a break.
and simultaneously saying that the Russian government is influencing the American elections, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how can you say that if you describe like Bill Gates as Dr. Evil, and I think Jeff Bezos does a pretty good Dr. Evil as well. I mean, he could do a great Dr. Evil impersonation. I think Jeff Bezos is right up there. And Elon Musk isn't too far off the mark. You know, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, like, who the fuck knows what's going on in that guy's head? And why these people should have this much power anyway. But these characters, it's an oligarchy. And it's just becoming more and more clear that, like, they have, like, superpowers because they have super privileges. And, most people don't have those privileges. Anyway, that's how I see it. There was one other thing I wanted to mention to you a few weeks ago, but I know you haven't been on the air, and it's great that you're on tonight, and I'm really glad that you were able to go on the phone, and especially, since you haven't been consuming a lot of news recently, I bet it's kind of overwhelming. But there was an article that said Japan is expected to announce it's going to release radioactive water from the crippled Fukushima nuclear power plant into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And what's been going on is, like, those reactors are still melting down, right?
Yeah.
So they're pouring water on, they're just continually pouring water on these reactors for like over 10 years or something. And the water is it's taken out, and then it's stored in these storage facilities that are on site. So they've got like 1,000 tanks like you would store oil in, but they're designed to store this radioactive water. But these tanks are completely full, and they have no idea what they're going to do. So according to Oregon Live, the Oregon newspaper, the Oregonian, they said Japan says that releasing contaminated cooling water into the vast ocean in the years ahead poses only very small risk. Others say that's not known for certain. What is known for certain is the government has to make a decision. 170 tons of new radioactive waste is generated every day at Fukushima and is stored in 1,000 specially designed tanks, according to Forbes. The government would begin to release the contaminated water into the ocean when the tanks being used to store it reach capacity. The final decision about whether or not to implement the plan is being expected to be announced in November, but they said that because of the coronavirus epidemic, that its odds are they're going to push this through the legislature in Japan, and it's just going to happen. So they're going to start releasing all of this radioactive water directly into the Pacific Ocean. And science, of course, is claiming that it isn't a big deal, nothing for people to worry about, even though they have recorded radioactivity all the way, not just in Hawaii, but in Oregon and on the Washington coast as well, across the ocean.
Yeah, they've recorded it in cow's milk in Oregon, like cesium-137 or something like that, from the rain watering the grass that the cows are eating.
Now, I think that in any society that would call itself civilized or ethical or moral, or that gave a shit about the world that they live on, humans that care about the world, that would be the very first story. That would have been a huge story, when it came out on October 19th, but it would have been in the news for a couple of days, where people would be discussing what are we going to do about Fukushima and why do we still have nuclear power plants spread out around the world? Why are we using these dangerous forms of energy production that we have when we haven't found a place to store the waste that we use to generate the energy? And it's not clean. We don't have that discussion very often.
We don't have that discussion. We don't have the discussion at all. There's no discussion in the mainstream media about about what we're going to do about nuclear waste, and the fact that it's going to be an increasing problem, it's like it's no big deal. We'll figure it out when we need to,
Yeah, well, it is a problem, and we'll discover that over time. As governments are destabilized, and as the environment, whatever climate change, however you want to imagine that, but like where they build some of these nuclear power plants may not be as safe as they thought they were, initially. But on that note, I want to leave, and I don't know who's going to win the election tonight. I think Trump might win. That's my gut feeling. It's a possibility. And if it happens,
incumbents are very hard to beat.
And if that happens, I think that the fact that these people haven't been paying attention to what is going on in this country at all, and they've just been living in this bubble. And I see it in Olympia, where I live. I often speak of my community, but like it's very kind of liberal Democrat-centric place. And I honestly see people around me who are just living in an echo chamber. And they just believe that, like, if they all just say, Donald Trump is an evil, nasty man, and we're going to vote for Joe Biden, and with this gleeful kind of attitude, that they're really not paying any attention to anything that's happening outside of their community.
Like somehow Joe Biden is the solution. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like Joe Biden is the solution, and none of them probably supported Joe Biden early in the primaries. But and they never acknowledge the fact that the Democratic primaries were rigged at every stage of the primaries. They were rigged. They were rigged in the beginning. They were rigged in the fall. They were rigged in February. They were rigged in April. They were rigged the whole way through. And every single time it went to the favor of Joe Biden, which is always a telltale. If there's a mistake or a result in tallies or, a miscalculation in exit polls, it should never favor the same person every single time.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And that's what happened with the Democratic primaries. And it's rigged. And people, I swear, people have to know that's true. So when these ads were like on the football games or on the television networks or like, on the subways or the bus stations, encouraging people to vote, Saturday Night Live, vote, 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 vote. I mean, in a way, it's kind of disturbing to me in a way, right? Because they kind of are telling people, like you just said, that if they vote for, like an echo chamber, if you vote for Joe Biden, everything will be okay. If you vote for Joe Biden, everything will be okay. You vote, on and on and on, and they keep seeing it reinforced, and people spend billions of dollars to project that image into these people's heads, and then they fucking lose. Wow. I mean, it almost gives me pleasure. I think they call that Schadenfreude, when you take pleasure in other people's suffering. But I swear to God, they really had it coming, right? I mean, what the fuck? Joe Biden?
I hear you, man. It's and the worst part of it is that, the Democrats desperately need every voter they can get. And there's this huge fucking swath of voters that are looking for somewhere to go, and they would have got behind Bernie Sanders. Not that Bernie Sanders is the answer, but they...
I told you. Yeah, I would have voted for him.
Yeah. So, and the Democrats act like those people don't even exist.
Yeah, they don't. They are running the party to the right, to the Republicans. And in a weird way, this is another reason why Donald Trump might be better as a winner. My friend explained this to me the other day. He's like, when a Democrat is president, they tend to take the party further to the right. And the example he used was like Barack Obama passing Mitt Romney's medical thing, right? Obamacare, Romney Care, and then also his bailout to the banks, giving huge amounts of money to corporations.
Yeah.
Continuing the drone strikes, continuing, so he basically...
The militarization of the police.
Yeah, surveillance state.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much of a line, really, between them anyway. They just kind of had this facade of being cool. Most people like them as they do to this day. But there's not much of a difference, right, between the Republicans and the Democrats.
No.
At all. And this is it should be very obvious to people. So that's the reason why they have to have this advertising campaign to get the vote out. Is I don't think there's very much enthusiasm really for either candidate, and that's why they have to stretch the election out for a year. It's why they have to spend so much money on television. It's why they have to kind of have the news be framed in a way where these people are arguing with each other about basically the same thing.
Yeah.
He's such, fuck you, he's horrible, you don't know what you're talking, no, fuck you. And they show this on news, on local news, night after night after night, to reinforce this idea that they're actually different. You understand, they're really not the same. But they fucking are.
Yep. There's no difference.
It's clear as day.
Yeah, I can't. It's I kept thinking that we should make tomorrow night's show about grief counseling, but the more I thought about it, it wasn't, it's not tomorrow night's show that needs to be, it's tonight's show where these are the choices for, to be the leader of our country for the next 4 years. We need the grief counseling now because no matter who wins, we're fucked.
Yeah, don't kill yourself, all right? Anyone listening, don't kill yourself at least for a few more days.
Yeah.
All right? Let the dust settle before you actually pop the pill. All right, folks? Take a deep breath. Take a few days. Take a time out. You can always kill yourself next Monday.
Well, you can always kill yourself tomorrow. I agree with that 100%. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do it right now. Okay? You don't need to do it right now. The most important thing is, can I get through until tomorrow? Because if you can get through until tomorrow, that's all you got to do. You can always kill yourself tomorrow if that's the way you really feel about it.
I've got a couple of grams here on a tray of that sour diesel, so I'm going to make it through the night. I know that. That's a good thing.
That always helps.
And yeah. Anyway, I'm really glad that you were on the air tonight, and that you found the microphone, and that and you were able to do the show. And I look forward to listening to your show when I get a chance, when you're on the air again.
Right on, Chris. Well, it's good to hear from you, and it's always good to hear from you. So I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yeah, me too. Have a good night, Mike. Peace.
Okay, stay cool. See ya. That's our buddy Chris from Olympia. Let's see, what do we got here? And we are coming up on the 9 o'clock hour. The 9 o'clock hour is going to be a time when we're going to get a lot of election results, I believe, but we'll see. Hello, caller. Hello.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, it's Arizona Joe, man.
Hey, Joe.
I wanted to give you a shout out there, bro.
How's it going, man?
I'm okay, man. I've been looking for you. I ain't seen you, though.
Yeah, I had a little episode. Had to go to the hospital.
Well, I figured it was something serious because I didn't see you, and I've been looking for you. And anyways, just, I know you'll break that down as you see fit, but Jesus Christ, I hope everything's okay with you, man.
We'll talk. I'll talk about it tomorrow night. If you get a chance to see tomorrow's show, I'll try and explain what happened. From what I understand, which I don't really understand a whole lot right now, and where I'm at, and
forget,
And,
yeah, I know. Now I heard you say that before. I don't want to have to set you up to repeat what you've been saying, but just don't want you to think that Arizona Joe is not looking for you, dude.
Yeah, right on, Joe. It's always good to hear from you. We haven't heard from you for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you haven't been around for a while.
Yeah.
And so, on the other side of it is, I've been hearing a lot of, good comments and that, and, But on the other side of it is, I'm super opinionated, and I think people have been really kind of soft on Donald Trump. I think that they've been very harsh on Joe Biden, and I understand. I'm a total Bernie guy. I fucking hate Joe Biden's politics, but the worst thing that's come around is Donald Trump's politics. And, see if you agree with me, Max. And Chris, the pushback between, right now, it is neoliberalism versus the neocon. And Donald Trump is not anything different than a status quo Republican.
It doesn't seem like he's any different than a status quo Republican to me.
Me too. And Joe Biden's nothing more than a Barack Obama neoliberal. You guys left out a few things as you were hacking down Barack Obama's record. He made the Bush tax cuts permanent.
Yeah.
Throw that, Chris, don't forget that. As you're listing your reasons why, I'm with you. But in terms of, where we have to go, and, there's two factions of the Democratic Party. It is the the neoliberal corporatist, and that's firmly what has, when Barack Obama made that call on South Carolina Democratic Tuesday, and he got Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota to drop out and Pete Buttigieg to drop out.
Right.
And leaving Liz Warren to split the progressive vote. Don't think that wasn't orchestrated. But yet it doesn't represent the whole Democratic Party. Now, pardon me, but you look at the Republican Party and what they have been, corralled into, it is intellectually dead. They're not, searching out answers. We're at we've blown out our economy. Executive branch has a lot of power, you guys. I hate to inform you, not you, Max, but, all the listeners out there. Executive branch has a lot of power. And, they lead the way. And Mitch McConnell, you saw, that dude, he is the worst in the world. But you know what? He's better than any Democrat. That Amy McGrath, are you kidding me? She had $50 million in the bank. Mitch McConnell has the lowest approval ratings, but don't get faked out. You can vote for Howie Hawkins all you want, but don't think that Amy McGrath and Chuck Schumer, the head strategist for the Democratic Party, his, he's on the line. That dude is 70, I don't know, he's 70-something years old. Nancy Pelosi, what, 78? You look at all these, so-called thought leaders in the Democratic Party, they're all corporatists, but they're on their way out. And I didn't hear much reflection of that tonight. And I guess I just wanted to throw that in there and say, please, man, consider this. And, what say you, Max?
I agree that they're corporatists. There's no doubt about that. And that's the problem. When you say you can vote for Howie Hawkins all you want or whatever, I feel like I don't care who you vote for. I just feel like you just can't vote for Republicans or Democrats anymore. Because somehow they feel like they have this power where no matter who they put forward, no matter how badly they screw the voters, you're always just going to have one of them to choose from, and the other side's evil, so you're always going to vote for them. And I'm really tired of that shit.
Yeah. Loud and clear, man. I hear you, but I just want to remind you that no independents have ever won. major elections. Yeah, Bernie is an independent, and Sheldon, what's the guy's name? Sheldon Whitehouse. We got two independents there.
Yeah. It's Sheldon Whitehouse is not an independent.
Well, I mean, but isn't he technically an independent?
No, he's not.
There's two independents.
Angus King is an independent.
Oh, Angus King. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I stand corrected, and thank you. But with that being said, I just wanted to point out it wasn't to get hung up on those two names. It's to get hung up on, you got to board the ship. Like, there isn't a Democrat and Republican in the Constitution. I know that.
Yeah.
Point taken. But, nobody ever stops to ask, what's happening currently. You got to board the ship and you got to take it over. And that's what I found so compelling about Bernie Sanders. And, just the revolting features. I voted for Ralph Nader. I've always been a counterculture Democrat. So I get it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you have this neoliberal Barack Obama, corporatist from the word go, the guy who got rid of habeas corpus.
Yeah.
Teamed up with a guy who teamed up with John McCain to get rid of, body of evidence is what habeas corpus means. So, they can bring forward nefarious charges, and they don't need a body of evidence.
Yeah.
Habeas corpus.
And they I wanted to say something about Barack Obama, but yeah, I mean he was horrible. Oh, I know what I want. They insist on calling him the most liberal president of all time, and it's just fucking disgusting bullshit, man.
Sure, but there is no look at the intellectual argument from the right. I'm sorry, but you look at how they had power for 2 years, and they were you saw nothing of corrective features like bringing. What does Trump care look like? Oh, we couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Not to say that Obamacare doesn't suck dick.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows it does.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and by the way, it only has 50% approval. It's viewed as the centrist Democrat position, it's so close to being a Republican, just because they picked it up from the Heritage Foundation via Mitt Romney when he was governor of Massachusetts. Everybody knows that. And when Democrats wasted their political capital and they passed Republican health care, that was Barack Obama was elected in 2008, didn't take office till 2009. When he passed that was his major legislation, and that was his ticket to the most crushing Democratic defeats happened after his showing up with the littlest dick in the world when it comes to health care. People are sick and tired of this. And pardon me, that's why I'm making the claim that Republicans are intellectually dead, and everybody who doesn't realize the threat of Donald Trump just showing up and heating up the flames of oh, it's about Black Lives Matter, and oh my God, it's Antifa, and fucking MS-13 goddamn caravans are coming north maybe in 2 years or something. Everything was just flamed up, thrown on charbroil. But they didn't do shit when they had all the power that they had. And it's not that people don't want, massive change. They do. Yeah. And that's why they elected that guy.
Yeah.
But, to sit here and say he's not sucking dick is not really, it's not being honest to the situation. Because that dude is sucking dick on the fucking job.
I agree. No, he's nothing but corporate, and and Barack is exactly the same way, and it just
he's not president anymore.
Yeah,
he's not president anymore. We saw that. We saw the referendum. Hillary Clinton was an extension of that. The TP, all that. But Donald Trump has had the handles on the levers of power, and that guy's been sucking dick for 4 years.
Right.
Like,
Well, where I was going, what I was trying to say is, it's like you're saying, is that Donald Trump has had the Congress and the Senate. I mean, the Senate and the House of Representatives for many years. He could have made lots of different things happen, and he didn't make anything happen. Barack Obama and Joe Biden had the Senate and the House of Representatives for many years.
Yeah.
They could have made a lot of shit happen. Everybody's like, oh, they're going to take your guns. Well, they had the fucking Senate, and they had the fucking House of Representatives, and they didn't do anything like that because the second that they head that direction, the people get very fucking agitated. So,
Absolutely.
It's just this fear. Oh, they're going to do this. They're going to do that. Oh, we're going to have public health care. Well, Barack Obama promised to fight for a single payer option and didn't fight for it for 1 second. No. So, it's all just bullshit.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
No, that's true. But you gotta, you saw him step up to the plate and whip for 8 years.
Yeah.
And you never saw Mitch McConnell lie. He said from day one, we're going to oppose this guy. We're going to just, at every turn. So he never agreed with Barack Obama, but Barack Obama just showed up like Mitch McConnell's butt boy. And pardon me, but that isn't serving anybody anything. And, you got to set the tone. When you get power and you get in there, you got to set the tone. Even if Mitch McConnell's going to oppose you, you got to step up to the pump, and you've got to, they have things that are called executive actions and executive orders. Executive actions is when you take existing policy and, things that have had money and passed the Congress, the House, and the Senate, and you can juice those things up. That's how Donald Trump, that's how he's building sections of the wall. The only areas that he's building sections of the wall is where there's water, because you got to bring in big concrete batch mixing systems to get these things to build a foundation, and that's the problem with what he's facing. It gets very expensive. I'm from Arizona. I can tell you about the desert, and I can tell you about huge fucking stretches that aren't going to get walls up there because you don't have any water there. And for all you capitalists and all you fake ass bitch, guys who sit here and just, don't give any intellectual thought about what it takes to build a fucking wall, fuck you, fuck off, because you're sitting here wasting our fucking time. And, and that's a real problem that I've got with these fucking fake ass motherfuckers who sat here and wasted our time and didn't do anything about healthcare, didn't do anything about the fucking coronavirus that's wrecked our goddamn economy. And by the way, I live in Arizona. You can sit here. I've went through 3 fake reopenings of the economy. Guess what? Nobody's fucking buying it because nobody feels good and safe in the transactions. There's 50%. When you come in and you go into somebody's, business, you better feel safe in that transaction. If you think there's something that might kill you, 50% of this country feels like it. They're afraid that they might go bankrupt if they get COVID because they're not shored up in their health care. Didn't happen under Barack Obama. All the conservatives said, oh, yeah, it's fucking European socialism. Fuck off. Fucking stupid fucking idiots. It's corporatism. But yet in their stupid world, it was fucking European socialism. Nothing could have been further than the truth, from that truth. And then Trump care, it's just, they're all frauds, dude. They're all fucking frauds.
Yeah, it's just all theater. It's just all, promises and, fucking, yeah, we hear what you're saying, but they never act like they hear what we're saying, so.
Right on, dude. Right on. Well, hey, man, I don't know who's going to win, but I personally hope it's Joe Biden because I think that he can be pushed. I think that the Republicans are so intellectually dead that they don't know what it means to be a capitalist anymore, for one.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they're just, raped, man, of like, they don't know what competition in the marketplace is. They don't know what, 4 cell phone companies is not competition in the marketplace, 5 insurance companies. When you can't even outdo Obamacare and you've got 5 insurance companies that are handling 90% of the healthcare insurance market, not capitalism. I shouldn't have to clue in these dumb motherfuckers who are, little Trump fucking butt boys. And Joe Biden butt boys who, I beat the socialist. Fuck you, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Like how are you going to show up, Joe Biden, without implementing socialism like Donald Trump did? That $100,000 treatment that they factored in what he received, in terms of like, his top-notch Walter Reed socialism healthcare.
Yeah.
Not one goddamn Republican or dope fucking alleged conservative ever said that's socialism. You can't mass applicate that. I didn't hear that intellectually floated at all by any of the dumbass fucking. I'd like to talk about Antifa, Mike. Get the fuck out of here. Shut up with the Antifa and start talking about healthcare. Start talking about our communities. Start talking about if you think that Blue Lives Matter and you don't see what the fuck is happening with Black Lives Matters and communities and just the rot and Jesus fucking Christ, man, this is pathetic. It really is.
It's really pathetic.
You've been. I don't mean to bum you out, dude, but that's why I also look for you because you guys are. You guys are hacking it out on here. We've had some good conversations. We've had some bad conversations. But when it's all said and done with, dude, I hear where you're coming from, and I hear where Chris, the guy before, is coming from. But honest to God, we got to just keep on chiming in here.
Yeah.
And I'll get off here. I just want you to be healthy, bro.
Yeah, Joe. Well, it's good to hear from you. I'm glad that we got a chance to talk for a minute.
Shout out, man, and shout out to Craig. And anyways, man, I haven't seen you guys, but I do look out for you all the time, so don't forget that, okay?
Right on. Well, we'll be back again tomorrow, so look forward to seeing you again soon.
Okay, peace out, Mike.
Okay, Joe, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for calling. That's our buddy Joe from Arizona, and you can tell he's on fire. And that's part of the reason that I really want to do a show tonight was because I know a lot of people are really agitated like me, like I was going to do a show tomorrow night about grief counseling because but we need it tonight because the politics are so fucked up in this country that somebody like Donald Trump or Joe Biden is going to be president. Neither one of those people deserve to be president anyway. And it's really, really sad that that's what the truth is. But we will do a show again tomorrow night about 7 p.m. Pacific time. If anybody wants to set their calendar, because and tomorrow night we'll go into the little hiatus that we've been on, and my lovely trip to the hospital. And where we're at now, and where we are going forward. But other than that, there is not a lot of change happening on the screen on these presidential race, as far as I can tell. And I am at about my limit for sitting in this chair tonight. So we'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and it was really good to hear from you guys and be able to touch bases with you guys and to know that you guys are still out there means a whole lot to me, more than I can say. So I'm really glad to see y'all and hear from y'all. I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific. I hope we see you here then, and we'll figure out where it's going to go from there. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in, and stay cool, because one of these days this war is going to end. all things come to an end. So one of these days, it's got to end. Don't forget. Stay cool till then.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.